Here are 5 signs.
Kind regards, masses, it's me, Highbike, and I am back with some more Hakuoki Chronicles of Wind and Blossom. The song that we were the first song that we were listening to for pre-stream was Frog Summer by Leon. It's a very cutesy like song. It starts off with like that school bell chime that you usually hear in like your Japanese animes for schools, and honestly, they play that in the Filipino schools too. But and then like you have some frogs just kind of ribbiting throughout the song. It's very short and sweet. If you want to listen to that song, I'll leave a link in chat here. The second pre-stream song was Cat Cafe by Tsundere Twin Tails, not Twin Tails. They're Twin Tails, like the hairstyle. But that is also a very cutesy song. I agree with Jacob, goofy awe music. But yeah, like both of those pre-stream songs I first heard in one of those silly playlists that I like to play when we're doing U quizzes. But yeah, I really like that Cat Cafe one because it has a very Nintendo vibe and it just fills you with joy. It has such positive energy. If you want to listen to that song, I'll leave a link in chat here. And then the pre-stream video I don't have a link to, but it just came up on my feed. The guy goes, "Here are 5 signs," and I'm like, 5 signs of what? And then it immediately cuts to the next screen of 5 signs. I love it. It's so stupid. But the account that I got that from, what was that from? Repost Locker, I think was the name of the account. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna double check that. If you want to check it out on Instagram, yeah, the account name is Repost Locker. It's one of those meme pages, you know. But yeah. Anyways, how have you guys been? You may have been wondering where I've been for the past couple of days. Or I don't remember if I mentioned it the last time I streamed, but well, I'll get to that now actually, because Hakuoki is a visual novel, so it's gonna be all like you know, reading and stuff. Oh, and hello, or hold on, let me greet you guys first. How we doing today? Experimenter, Jacob, Elliot, and Chuck. What's up? Stream didn't load toward the end. What? I think that's just an experimenter problem. Although, to be fair, when I did start the stream, OBS shows me, like, the connection strength, like, through, colors on the bottom right. Like, green, obviously, you're at strongest. Yellow, kind of in the middle there, and then red would be the weakest, like, you're close to disconnecting. So I'm just staring at the color there, like, the little box, and I'm like, oh god, please don't disconnect. But, yeah. That video has Kyler energy. Doesn't it? I should send that to him. There's some videos I need to send to him, but anyways. Yeah, I did fall asleep, as you can probably tell from the stream title, for like the past couple of nights, because I really intended to stream for the past couple of nights, but what happened was Saturday, it was a chill work day until like 4 p.m. Then like clients just started coming out of nowhere, and at like the very like last hour of shift, there was like a girl that I had assigned to me, or lady, whatever. And she seemed to be a good candidate for that one place where we send the really long referral packets, because when I was talking with her, like, you know, she told me what her problem was, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, you know, I think she would benefit from this place. But then when I started filling out the packet, well, I can't really go into detail, but like, let's just say that, you know, she started seeming a bit sus. Whew! Like, you can tell that the problem was probably housing. It's like, did you really need to be sent here? But, like, my supervisor went ahead and, like, okayed it anyways, because we gave him a call. We were like, I don't know about this. And, like, her insurance was, it was private. We don't usually take private insurance for, referrals or any of our services, really. They just have to pay out of pocket. And, like, especially if we're getting them referred to that one place, the referral process would take longer because they'd have to review the insurance. So it was basically, I was just kind of rushing to, you know, fill out this packet, get everything printed out, and, like, you know, do as much as I could so that the night shift wouldn't, you know, because I don't like dumping work on night shift, because, like, as much as like, our shift in general, like, we like to try to keep clients, like, we try to, like, work with them and then get them out as soon as we can, you know, if best fit, because a lot of the times when we come to work from like night shifts, they'll be leaving us a lot of clients and then we have to pick up after them. But and like, sure it would make great revenge to be all like, "Hey, yeah, we're going to leave you these clients." But like, I don't want to leave work on them because that's, it's stressful trying to figure out like what to do for clients, especially when you're night shift. You are limited to less resources because you can't call any housing or any kind of like homelessness like resources like during the nighttime because obviously everything's closed. So it's like, we don't want to put that work on them. But like at the same time, like Kyler, like that night Kyler and his kid were gonna, they were inviting me out to dinner after work. And I felt kind of bad because like I had to make them wait a little longer, but it didn't take too long because like I still had to make the report to make the report to night shift and then just kind of clean up after that. But other than that, it was fun. It was a nice dinner. We went to. It was my first time like I was just sitting down eating dinner with Kyler and his kids, so it was pleasant. It was very fun. We ate at the Tembler, which is that one restaurant we always go to. And yeah, it was great. And it was funny too because we got a free pretzel, like one of those big pretzels from it because apparently like when you order food there, they'll give you a number that you put on your table and then they'll serve it to you. Apparently like cuz like this guy, the waiter, he came in with our pretzel or like, the big pretzel and like Kyler's like, "We didn't order a pretzel." And then the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, well, see, before you guys, like, there was another group that had your table number and they left before we could serve the pretzel. So, um, we're gonna give you guys the pretzel." So we're like, "Oh boy, thanks." Now, the pretzel wasn't bad or anything, but it was kind of too salty, and then the dipping sauces that they had were like melted cheese and some kind of mustard mix. Like it was mustard and then they had like some other stuff mixed in there, but I don't know. Like it wasn't like anything to write home about, but like, it at least kept us from being hungry, but we couldn't finish the whole thing cuz it was one of those big pretzels. So, like Kyler and I had like that boysenberry beer cuz that's what we usually like to get. Thanks to me for introducing him to that drink, which is also thanks to Dr. Toasty. Or well, I'll get into that later. But like, yeah, he was telling us about that drink. He introduced it at the Firehouse, which is a different restaurant that we like to frequent, like me and my group. Um, but yeah, anyways, this boysenberry stuff is chef's kiss. But anyways, I did plan to stream after that, but when I got home, like I was like I had the Hakuoki clips for the announcement post recorded, but I had to edit them, like, make sure that they're, like, at a certain length and, like, just kind of get the what I want to put on the post. But I fell asleep during that, and I was like, oh, shit. And, like, I kept waking up, like, at random intervals. Now, I did take my medication on time for, like, both nights, but I kept falling asleep. And then, like Saturday night, I think when I woke up it was like around 2 a.m. and Kyler was still up. I think yeah, he was still up. And like we just like talked and stuff like, throughout the night pretty much. I was debating like streaming, but at the same time I was like cuz I hadn't intended to stay up so late. I was like, cuz the following day I would have to clean up because like for the pool party cuz on Sunday, which was yesterday, I planned to have a pool party. Like Jacob was there, Kyler was there, Hippa and Dr. Toasty. Like we were all hanging out. But yeah, no, I intended to get up early, but then I ended up fucking staying up late. So I could have streamed, but I didn't, and I still didn't get that much sleep. I mean, I got enough sleep for me to be kind of rested, like on the following day, but I was like, I was kind of tired and like, I was like trying to take care of cleaning, but I think I did a pretty good job of cleaning. But even then, I had to like buy the drinks for the party and also pizza, which was on the other side of town. Before I get to that day, what were you guys? Mega tired last night, but somehow couldn't fall asleep. Didn't recover until taking a nap at 6 p.m. Whoa, seriously? Like, 6 p.m. today? Or 6 p.m. No, 6 p.m. yesterday, like, you were out. Okay. Damn, dude. It'd be like that sometimes. I know, I hate it when you're, like, super tired, but then you can't fucking go to sleep. And you're good, started a small little project on AI Dungeon. Oh, man, I haven't used AI Dungeon in a while, so, you know, good on you for using it still. They have done a lot of updates, so. It'll involve the actual Linkin Park members and anime characters, yourself included. Fun stuff. And watching season 2 of Yuru Camp today. Good. Good for you. Yeah, Jacob, you should have been there to get the pretzel. No one would finish it. And Kyler, like, he's always hungry. Like, he's always saying he's always hungry, but he didn't finish the pretzel because he actually didn't like it. Yeah, I don't know. There was something about it that was just... I thought you were more of a sweet tooth person. Like, this pretzel was not sweet at all. And hi, Petrovsky. How are we doing today? What's up? You only got a few hours of sleep last night, so you didn't catch up until this evening. Damn, dude, that's whack. But hey, at least you're better rested now, because I am also better rested too. But yeah, no, it's just been a fun few days. But yeah, the pool party was great. I'm sure Jacob can also confirm. So yeah, like I was getting the drinks and the pizza. Now I told everyone to come at like 6 p.m. And I got like throughout the day, I had like people telling me they'd be late. Like at first Hippo was all like, "Yeah, I'll be a bit later," cuz like I knew she was going to be late anyways cuz like she kind of, let's say she does babysitting for like a lot of her time when she's not at our job. But she got the approval cuz originally she wouldn't be able to go cuz she like, you know, she babysits the whole Sunday. But she got the approval to leave at 6 p.m. So she was like, "I'll be late," because of course she's just coming off at 6 p.m. and then coming to us. Then Jacob tells me, "I'm gonna watch Beetlejuice with my dad from like 4 to 6, right?" Or I don't know. It was like basically he'd be late. So it's like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. And like Toasty, I kind of expected he would be, or okay, it's actually Dr. Toasty, like. Cause like he's been on here like I think at least once. If you see his username, it's Doctor and then Tosty. You see it and then you'd think it would be Dr. Toasty, but when we were talking like yesterday, like we were talking about like his username, and he was all like, "Oh, it's actually Dr. Toasty because I meant for it to be Dr. Toasty, but I forgot the A, so it's Dr. Toasty, but then people say Toasty anyways." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I have to, you know, kind of remind myself it's actually Dr. Toasty. But yeah, anyways, he was like probably gonna be late anyways, because Mexicans, right? Yeah, both Hippa and Toasty are Mexican. So, you know, just like with Filipinos, we have our late time. So it's like you tell us to show up early, late, or not early, but you tell us to show up like a certain time, like maybe 5 p.m. They're probably gonna show up like an hour later. But, yeah, Kyler was the first one to show up, but even then, he still showed up after 6. Oh my god, he's so sweet, though, like, cause, like, he told me, "Oh, yeah, I might be a bit late, but I'll be running at the store, I am on my way." So I'm just, like, sitting around waiting, and also, mind you, this is Kyler's first time meeting my parents, too, so, like, he had been telling me that, you know, he was nervous to meet them, but it went off smoothly. Like, my parents are nice people. So, like, you know, they were very friendly with him. And also, like, Kyler shows up at my door and he has, like, a bouquet of roses for me. And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're so sweet." But yeah, he's such a sweetheart. So, like, the roses are, like, sitting as a centerpiece on our table right now. But, yeah, it was fun, basically. Like, and I was kind of rushing to get everything, too. Because, like, I was, like, cleaning and then immediately after, I went to go get the drinks. Now, me being the host, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll get, like, alcohol and pizza for everyone. But then everyone just, like, started bringing anything, like, their own things anyways. Like, Hippo was like, I'm gonna bring, dirty card games, except she didn't. She didn't have time, I guess. So what did? Oh, you know what? She brought like these vegan gummy bears that were supposed to be for like another friend that was supposed to come over, like the bar guy. Yeah, that's right. I mentioned bar guy, but he didn't show up. And like I don't think he's actually vegan. He just like prefers vegan diet because he doesn't like dairy. I think I don't remember if he was actually lactose intolerant or not, but like he kind of like leans more to the vegan side. So kind of as a joke, we're always like, "Oh, you're the vegan friend." And he like shops at like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sprouts, but like they're like the stuff that they have at this store, like it's a supermarket, but or a grocery store more like. But a lot of their stuff is on the pricier side, so it's like, okay. Yeah, Kyler brought roses. I don't. Yeah, because it was kind of sitting on the counter, like I put it in a vase. But yeah, they were there. You might have. Yeah, if you saw the roses, like my mom does like gardening. Some you could assume that, that was her roses, but no. Kyler brought me roses. Very sweet of him. And roses are actually my favorite flower too. I mean, not just because of like the whole societal connection of romance with the roses, but like yeah, he's very sweet. But yeah, like people just started showing up later, but we all had a fun time. Like it was supposed to be a pool party, but we didn't actually like go swimming until like towards the end, cause like we had our pizza and stuff, and just like kind of talking whatever, and then we played Smash Bros. Cause Kyler suggested it, and like he was like, "Oh man, I should have brought my Switch because I had 1-2 Switch on there, and we could also have more controllers." But like I only had like my Joy-Con controllers, and like like usually like you play with two of them, but if sometimes you can like disconnect them, so it's like one person has like one Joy-Con, the other has the other. So we kept like rotating and playing Smash Bros. And like we even got Hippa to play too. Like she's all like, "I've never played a video game in my life," but we're all like, "No, come on, no one actually knows the controls," because like I'm not used to like the single Joy-Con controls for Smash, so we were all like just kind of learning along the way, and like yeah, it was fun. Everyone like held up at least some fight. Even Hippa, like she may have died a little sooner, but she did hold off on her own for a bit. It was funny too, cause like I'm gonna avenge you, and then like cause like she was going up against Kyler, and like she died. So I'm like, oh, I'll fight with, cause I think she was using Toon Link, and I'm like, I'll use Toon Link too against him, and I ended up losing. Normally I'm the one who's winning against Kyler, but I think it's cause the controls were kind of throwing me off. But good games. And then Tosti was like, "I'll avenge you, Dom," and he lost too. I don't remember if Jacob was avenging anyone, but like I think Kyler pretty much like won over everyone. But it was fun. And then we went swimming after that. Like my pool, we have a pool light, except it doesn't work, and we couldn't get it like fixed in time. So like what we did was like we brought one of my indoor lamps outside to like kind of put at least some light on us while we're swimming. But it was fun. Hippo was actually the only one who didn't swim, because I didn't know this, but like she mentioned she was on like I think either the swim team or like water polo, one of those water sports. Not like those kinds of water sports, but you know what I mean. But she told us that she was allergic to chlorine, and we're just like, what? Nothing too serious. It's just like she gets a rash from it, and then she can just wash it off in the shower afterwards. And we're like, "Come on, Hippo, jump in the pool if you can shower." But she's like, "Nah." So she was just like, sitting on the sides while everyone's just like swimming. And it was funny too, because like at one point Jacob and Tosti were like sitting on the pool stairs, and like Kyler kind of he like grabbed me and like kind of like tossed me in their direction, and I'm like doing like the like the T pose on your back like position in the pool, and I'm just like I'm just like slowly heading towards Jacob and Tosti, and I'm just like, "Oh man, it's like 9/11," and we're like, "Oh shit," like, and we're like, who's which tower?" And like Jacob was North Tower, because I was like heading more for his direction. It was just fun. But yeah, also hello Bork, what's up? How we doing? You're just making fun of Hippa for always bringing up, oh, the being late thing. I know. Hippa only sees race. You got 2 mosquito bites last night. They're not that bad though. Ugh, mosquito bites suck, but at least they're not too bad. I thought I got one like on my arm earlier, like, cause like I had a little itchy earlier, but it's gone now, so I don't know what the fuck that was. But yeah, and then earlier today, Kyler, the kiddo, and I all went hiking in this place called Ponderosa. It's part of Sequoia National Forest. I've never been to that part before, but it's a very windy road because it's like, you know, one of those mountain roads. But it was very quiet because it's a weekday, so like there wasn't really anyone there. There was like some people, I think, either doing a wedding rehearsal or like straight up actually having a wedding, like at one of the parts, and I'm like, oh, they're having a wedding. But yeah, it was fun. You know, getting some fresh mountain air, and then like it was funny because the kiddo like kept running around and stuff, and like we were just like all racing. And she'd always be, you know how kids are, like, they'd always be picking up sticks, like, along the trail. She'd get one stick, be like, ooh, I found a stick I can poke daddy with! And then she'd get rid of it for finding another stick, and then, like, you know, rinse and repeat. But yeah, it was a very pleasant time. Yeah, I had fun today. And now I'm here. And actually streaming. Oh, yeah, like, again, I did mean to stream yesterday. I even told, like, Jacob was like, are you gonna stream today? Or, I don't know if it was Jacob or Kyler were asking, and I was like, I'm gonna stream tonight. Yeah, let me just take a shower. But then I fucking fell asleep again. And it was weird, because, like, I did take my medicine on time, but I woke up maybe, like, you know, to take my meds, fell asleep. Or actually, no. I took my medication before taking a shower. Actually, because everyone left like maybe 10:30ish, and I was just kind of like cleaning up and stuff. But yeah, no, I just like fell asleep after that. Woke up at 2, fell asleep. Woke up at 4, fell asleep. Woke up at 8. Yeah, it was. I told you it was easy to figure out what happened, right? Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't been getting sleep, but yeah, it's cool. I've told myself, you know what, it's okay if I miss, you know, stream days, because, you know, sometimes I just have to have that time to myself. Because, I mean, in the first place, these streams are just supposed to be time to myself anyways. It's my way of decompressing and just kicking back and relaxing. No need to stress over, like, something that's supposed to be relaxing, right? But we're here now, and that's what matters, and we're gonna be playing Hakuoki, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the game up and running. But yeah, fun stuff. And like I forgot to turn like Smash Bros off like from last night. So like when I connected my Switch right now, like I still see like cuz Tosti and I had like the last match, and I still see like I was playing Ness. I think he was playing Donkey Kong, I don't remember, but like I won. It was still on the victory screen, and I'm like, oh, whoopsies. But yeah. Anyways, the last time on Hakuoki, we met a new character. He's a samurai who apparently met Ibuki, which is the main character of one of the other Hakuoki spin-offs, which is supposed to be a prequel to the story events here. Like, Ibuki was, like, painting a painting of, I think his name was Serizawa, like, as Rasetsu Fury. That's right, they call them Furies in this game. But, yeah. And, like, the Shinsengumi are like, where the fuck did you get this? You're under arrest. And then, like, it turned out, like, you know, I forgot what his fucking name was. I think it was Soma. Yeah, it was Soma. Soma's like, I don't know, I just thought the painting was neat. And I feel that. Yeah, that's him. Excuse me, but yeah, I also, like, figured out how you can, like, view, like, your romance route status with the characters. And I accidentally, like, you know, got it, what do they call it, budding with Soma, and I'm like, no. So I went back and changed that. But on that note, I realized, you know, I was wondering, like, how come Hanada's route isn't budding for me? And I found out that I actually chose the wrong option at some point, so I'm gonna go back to where I need to like make the right choice so we can get on the right track for Harada's route, because that's why we're here. I can worry about other routes later, but right now, I want Harada. Fuck. We also met that one character that is voiced by Dio's voice actor. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I don't... That's what happened last time, and now we're gonna see what happens this time. There was a big update to Super Auto Pets, lots of weird new pets, but what you find more interesting is the update to custom packs. Playing custom packs has always been a shit show because people run the most OP combos possible. Damn, dude. What kind of weird pets are we talking? Alright. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, reload one of my states. And yeah, the opening is always like super fucking loud, so I can turn this back up. We're here. Yes. So, I was actually... My first instinct to remain in the compound, that was right. So we're gonna do that. And go back do that. I'll reread this stuff again so I can get a refresher. After contemplating, I decided to stay. I couldn't convince myself that I wouldn't be a burden to them during dangerous situations. But, still, it was disheartening to think about. What should I do today? Oh, looking at Hijaker's name right now, did you guys hear? Apparently, like, 9/11 is, like, people want 9/11 to actually be a national holiday. Because, like, I was, like, it just came up while I was, like, on YouTube, and, like, there was, like, CNN, like, talking about it. Like, of course New Yorkers are, like, pushing for this. They're like, we want them to never forget. And I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, it's my favorite holiday, that's for sure. My favorite national holiday. Because you know I'm going to be celebrating this week. I mean, remembering this week. But let's celebrate 9/11. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. I mean, hey, if I can get holiday pay for it, by all means. No, but, yeah, I mean, I get where they're coming from, but I don't know. Like, I mean, it did change America. Like, hell, like, all the world, like, really did, like, change, like, how we communicate and, like, you know, our travel, like, what's the word, guidelines, you know, security, you know, things have changed because of 9/11. But, yeah, I don't know. Should 9/11 be a national holiday? I don't really mind either way, but if it is, that gives me more reason to commemorate it. Throughout the past 6 months, I was allowed to finally search for my father on the rounds, and I contributed by doing chores for everyone. I'd slowly been entrusted with more and more tasks, such as cleaning and preparing meals. I spent most of my time with the captains, but there were many opportunities to chat with the warriors and come to know them as real people. Maybe they were starting to think of me as a warrior in training, rather than Hijikata's page. Maybe that was why I'd grown numb to the reality of who I was actually staying with right now. I was under the care of the infamous Shinsengumi. Oh, here come the cicadas. What should I do today? I had intended to go outside today, but the compound was short-handed. But I couldn't simply do chores when I was so worried about my father. Alright, I decided to visit the inner courtyard. The inner courtyard should have some cool shade and a nice breeze. Maybe this would allow my thoughts to simmer down. They got louder. Alas, contrary to my expectation, no winds blew through the courtyard today. Wait! There was only the harsh sun. I had a feeling it was going to be a bad day. I sighed, sitting under a tree to escape the harsh glare of the sun. Something occurred to me just then. Oh, right. My father's been here, hasn't he? They'd mentioned it, but they hadn't told me why. Was he tending to the injured, or perhaps educating the Shinsengumi on how to avoid illness? Maybe he'd intended to stay here long term. Since I asked, here's a couple of the weirder new pets, alright? I'll give you time to say that. They'd said nothing about him being in the compound, per se. It sounded more like he'd visited occasionally. If he'd really been their doctor, then he would have visited far more often. Which left me with the question, why? 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 It was abundantly clear to me that the Shinsengumi had plenty of secrets. I wondered if my father had anything to do with them. No, that can't be right, can it? I shook my head again, trying my best to dispel the dark thoughts taking shape. Ah! I spun around to find that Sanan had walked up behind me, undetected and unannounced. Sanan! Is it alright for you to be walking around? Oh, sorry, hold on. I like to listen to their, voice clips. What's the fucking, No. What's the button for that, though? No, don't quick save. No, 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 no. No, however, his expression had a hint of coldness. No. What the fuck was the log? Oh, okay, I guess we're not looking at the log then. So the pets are Goblin Shark, start a battle, swallow the first enemy, release it on faint. And Andrew Sarkis, wait a minute. Wasn't that a dinosaur? End turn, remove the shop pet below and gain 50% of its attack and health until next turn. Whoa. Interesting. I couldn't bear to look at his sad, twisted smile. His arm hadn't healed. It seemed certain now that it never would. The rest of the captains were sure that he would never be able to use his arm as he'd done before. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. They usually let me walk around as I pleased, so long as I didn't go into anyone's room. Still, technically, I was confined to my room. Any freedom given to me was simply a courtesy. There's like 20 total new pets, but yeah, I get the idea. You don't have to name off every single one. That's cool, though. In other words, Sanan was right. If he decided to chastise me, I had no reasonable excuse. There were some things I wanted to think about. I hoped the courtyard would be cooler than my room. The moment the words were out of my mouth, I realized they sounded like nothing but excuses. I'm sorry. I was beginning to grow accustomed to Sanan's subtle cruelty. I'll return to my room. I turned and began to walk away. Sanan's unpleasantness had started after he was wounded during his trip to Osaka. He spent most of his time locked in his room now, and he was quick to lash out. I knew he was in deep pain. Still, I wished he could go back to being the warm, kind man I'd first met. I turned around to see him still standing there. Excuse me. It's really hot out today. You should try and stay out of the sun. Please. Take care of yourself. I gave him a nervous smile. He responded with a small smile of his own. It didn't seem forced or bitter. It was genuine. Yes. The Sanan I'd first met was still in there. My spirits lifted, I ran back to my room. It was later that evening that the compound exploded with activity. I was walking down the hall when I heard footsteps and turned to see Nagakura coming toward me. Nagakura? What's that for? He glanced down almost absently at his hands. Could I increase the game volume? Yeah. Let me know how this is. He was holding a candle and an exceptionally long nail.
長州の患者を捕まえたんだけど、なかなか口を割らないらしいんだ。土方さんが直々に相手をすることになったんだが、道具が足りないんだよ。持ってきてくれ。
What do you need a nail for?
こういうことはわからねえ方が幸せだって。
He gave another awkward smile, turned his back on me, and walked off. As the sun began to set, activity in the compound reached a fever pitch. It was so busy that I couldn't even help with making dinner. The commotion was overwhelming. Oh, speaking of dinner, I had some steak earlier today. Oh, with potatoes and corn. Oh, we still have leftover corn from last night. Like, Jacob was like the only one eating corn. Because, like, my mom, like, prepared a bunch. But everyone was, like, eating either the pizza or the watermelon. And the Queen's Pizza, chef's kiss. It was definitely worth driving across town just for that. But yeah, had some steak today, and I had some of the peach moscato, or peach moscato? Yeah, I had some of that wine too. Very good. Chef's kiss. But like, I could have made this a drinking game stream, but then I don't really know what kind of drinking game prompts we would do for Hakuoki, so I'm just like, I'm just here. Yeah, it was some good steak. Oh, fuck. Good shit. Heisuke! He shot past my door, then whirled back around. What happened? All the men are running around. Did you... excuse me. Did you get some information out of that Choshu man? You know what? Hold on. I think I need to increase the volume on my side as well. Oh. Heisuke explained that the Shinsengumi would be splitting into 2 groups in searching locations. Kondo would take 10 men to the Ikeda Inn. Hijikata would take 24 to the Shikoku Inn. I don't know, Heisuke, you might be surprised. For now, you just sorted out the characters you'll be using in the new AI dungeon project? Hell yeah. Well, it sounds like fun. They sent more men with Hijikata because they thought he'd be seeing action. That being said, you mean there aren't even 40 men ready? Damn, rip. Oh, you know what? We were watching the Star Wars original trilogy on Saturday. And it was funny, Toilet Guard, like, totally wanted to skip the prequels because he's like, nope, they're absolute garbage. And then he, like, skips straight to the Disney trilogy. But looking, you know, now with, like, the recent news of James Earl Jones passing, it's just like, damn, dude. That hits. But yeah, I mean, he lived a pretty good life going up to 93. But we've lost another legend. Rest in peace. I'd known that the heat in close quarters made some men sick, but I hadn't known it was so many. Heisuke sighed. That sounds awful. Unfortunately, there wasn't much I could offer him apart from sympathy. I had a feeling it was going to be a difficult night. After all the men capable of fighting had left for their respective assignments, Sannan called for me. Oh, I don't know what I just did. You just added the Linkin Park members as the main characters in you as well. We'll add more as you add more to the story. Cool. Sannan's passive-aggressive attitude reared its head. Alright. I hesitated a moment, then spoke. Does that mean you'll protect me? You got sidetracked, but Super Auto Pets now has two types of customs. One where anything goes, same as before update, and one where there are limitations to make it more balanced. Okay. Well, that's cool you can customize it like that. I wasn't sure why, but he laughed at that. I couldn't be happy about his response. His smile was so sad. I wasn't sure what to say. It seemed to hurt him most when the other men were out fighting, and all he could do was wait. The silence between us stretched out until the door to our room suddenly opened without a sound. The Ikeda Inn? Mm-hmm. Hopefully now when you're playing the second type you won't run into insanely OP teams. Yeah, right? Yeah. It's good that there is that balance now. His tone was light, but his face was serious, and with good reason. They'd been certain Shikoku was their right location. As such, they'd sent only half as many men to Ikeda. The man whom he'd called Yamazaki nodded curtly. He was the Shinsengumi officer and spy, as well as a member of the watch. Despite not living in the Yagi residence, he was aware of my situation. Yamazaki seemed just as surprised. I'll go, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go. Yamazaki! Minigame flashbacks. I know, right? I'm just like, oh god. Honestly though, I'm gonna be real. I'm kinda interested to see what his route is next, because I don't know. There's something about him that I'm like... I'm rooting for the underdog over here. I think I want to do his route after Haru does. Oh, that's how you look at the log. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go. I said I'll go. I'll go! Oh, I paused before thinking about what's next. I'll go. Please, let me help. If I really could help, then I wanted to. I'd lived with these men for almost half a year. Damn, it's been that long already, jeez. Now is my chance to help them. There was no reason to hesitate. Excuse me. Okay, hold up. With that, what does the warrior record look like now? Budding. Oh shit. Nah, man, come on. I'm trying to get with Haruda. Bruh. We gotta change that right now. Oh my god. But I'm pretty sure that's what I had to say. Because we'd be seeing him anyways if we're gonna go to Ikeda. Well, let's see. Yamazaki's cold eyes slid over to me for a moment as he spoke. Sunlan finished with a soft smile I hadn't seen him use for weeks. Ooh. What? You what? It sounded as if they were suggesting, should things go badly, that Yamazaki would sacrifice himself. That would have Yamazaki running all across Kyoto. I suppose it really drove home just how thin the Shinsengumi was stretched. And there's no other person that could do this job? What about Shimada? Shimada was another Shinsengumi spy who was trusted with knowledge of my situation. Sannan shook his head. The Shinsengumi needed every single member they could get, and Shimada was with the Shikoku team. In other words, aside from Yamazaki, I was the only one who could serve as a messenger at the moment.
確か雪村君だったな。護身程度の術なら身につけていると聞いた。
Yes, I do.
残念ながら君の安全は保証できない。それで構わないというのであれば、俺に同行してくれ。
If I tried to run away while we were out, I had no doubt that he would kill me without hesitation. This mission was his priority, not my life. Even so, I'll go. I can take care of myself. You don't need to worry about me. Sannan gave me a small smile. I knew he wanted to join the battle more than anyone, but we both knew that wasn't possible. The least I could do was carry out my mission. Every single Shinsengumi made you think of every single missile hit the target! Ah! Oh man.
では、早朝命令、しかと受けたまわりました。
He bowed, then as he stepped out of the room and turned to me.
全力で俺についてこい。
I took off after him, my legs working as hard as they could. Into the dark street we ran. How long had it been since I ran this hard? After only a short distance, I was gasping for breath. Yamazaki, who was running ahead of me, suddenly stopped. Oh, you know what? I know this guy's got like the Naruto-like garb, right? But that reminds me, while we were walking out on the trail today, there was like a sign on the ground and there was an Akatsuki robe, like someone hung it over it. And we were like tempted, we took pictures, but we were tempted to like put it on and be like, ooh, but then it was like, you know what? We don't want anyone's cooties. And like, Kyler was joking how like, cause like he was like, oh, it would have been fun to have, you know, the kiddo wear it, but you know, we don't want any, that might have belonged to a Discord mod, and we don't need any Discord mod sweat on her. And then we were like, wait, Discord mods probably wouldn't go out this far. But yeah, it was just weird seeing a random Akatsuki robe like in the middle of like this trail. I've always wanted a robe like that, but maybe one of these other days. I'm gonna get one someday. He looked sharply behind us. Don't tell me someone's behind us. Seems like Yamazaki's hunch was right. What does it mean? What does it mean, right? Yeah, it's just there. I think I'm supposed to choose I promise to give the message. I want to be sure though, so let me see. Let's see. Oh. No, I'm supposed to say Yamazaki, you should go. Alright. But just in case, let me save. It's always good to save at these points. There's plenty of places to save, too. Excuse me. Yamazaki, you should go. I'll stay behind. Yamazaki, please, you should go. If I distract the enemies, then you could go in the meantime. Yamazaki wasn't going to take no for an answer, so I nodded. I looked to what lay ahead for me. As I stepped into the next intersection, I saw a flash of metal from the corner of my eye. Yamazaki, please. I know, right? Your choices don't matter.
君は惑うな。じきに合流できる。白の大福を目指してこのまま走れ。
You know what? I shouldn't look at the guide. I'll go off my gut, and then we'll find out from there. I kept running. I pretended I didn't hear the sounds of swords ringing against one another behind me, and ran. My knees were weak, and my legs shook, but I kept going. Mom's spaghetti! Even so, I felt so slow. I wanted to cry out, to scream in my body to go faster. Suddenly... Huh? Oh my god, it's so bright. A bright light cut through the darkness, and I threw my arm over my eyes to shield them from the glare. My heart stopped. Was it Choshu soldiers? I froze. Hijikata! I very nearly burst into tears with relief. Oh, and Haruda's there too. Hey. Hijikata was not dressed in their usual light blue jacket, but rather a bright white uniform. This would allow him to be better seen in darker places. Haruda reached out to grab me as my legs gave out.
大丈夫か。勝手に図書から出てると土方さんに怒られるぞ。
I grabbed hold of Haruda's hand and pulled myself back up to my feet. I wanted to tell him I had permission to leave and explain it was all right for me to be there. But I was so winded that I could barely speak. Besides, I wasn't sent to Hijikata to make excuses. I took as deep of a breath as my lungs could manage before speaking. They're meeting at Ikeda. Suddenly, Hijikata's expression changed. I nodded rapidly. Hijikata gestured toward me.
三男さんなら脱走を見過ごさねえ。つまり、こいつは総長命令で屯所を出たってことだ。よく俺らと合流できたな。今日の地理には詳しくないんだ。
Yamazaki. I finally got some of my breath back, and I did my best to tell them what had happened.
合図や諸次第はどうなった？池田屋に行ってるのか？
I just shook my head. Hijikata quickly came to a decision.
斉藤と原田は隊を率いて池田屋へ向かい、よそで別件を処理しておく。
Haruda and Saito nodded curtly, then moved to execute his orders.
あんたのこれ以上の単独行動は危険だ。俺たちか副長かどちらかに同行し。
I'm gonna stay with them. I need to be with Haruda. I still lacked the breath to respond properly, so I simply nodded. We both knew they couldn't leave me here. Yeah, I'm going to Ikeda with them, but let me save just in case, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go there. I've heard that episode I guess is coming out tomorrow, which would make sense now that I think about it, because Aigus's birthday is tomorrow. As fast as we could manage, we ran through the silent streets of Kyoto toward the Ikeda Inn. As we approached, we heard the first cries of men engaged in battle. Was everyone safe? Among the sound of dying men, I made out a voice that sounded much like Kondo's. They gave each other a curt nod, then turned to lead their men. I decided to follow Haruda. No, I don't think I even need to save for that. I ran after Haruda toward the back of the inn. I'm coming with you! I yelled as loud as I could, hoping he could hear me above the sound of fighting. He flashed me a quick grin. Even with everything that was going on, he still acted like he had everything under control. Yes! I followed Haruda as he headed to the rear entrance of the Ikeda Inn. When we arrived, a terrible sight greeted us. Haruda, right? Blue jackets, drenched in blood. Huh? My hand flew to my mouth. 3 of the Shinsengumi's soldiers lay there. I saw no signs of any other Ronin nearby. Haruda walked quickly to each man, checking for signs of life and any wounds they'd sustained. They nodded weakly to Haruda, their breath shallow and harsh. He turned to the men he'd brought with him and directed some of them to carry the 2 wounded soldiers away. The 3rd man, however, even my untrained eye could see that he was no longer with us. Haruda knelt down beside him. What a shame. What a rotten way for him to die. Or however that line went. His tone was soft as he lay his hand gently on the man's head. Haruda. For some reason, seeing him grieve made my chest feel tight. He may not look it, but Haruda cared for people. He was very kind. He'd undoubtedly been in many battles, and this was far from the first death he'd seen. Was he hurt this much by everyone? Episode I guess comes out tomorrow. Maybe it came out early for some people living in different time zones. Came out at 9 p.m. PST. Oh. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, because for East Coast, obviously, they're in the next day. But okay. Cool. Excuse me. He looked up at the inn, and his eyes narrowed. We could still hear the sounds of battle inside. Are they going to be alright? Haruda's response was exactly what I would have expected from him. Yes. Something about his words calmed me. They'd be fine. I stood up a little straighter next to Haruda. Oh, what? That was fast. Oh, that's right. Because the real action happened back at the actual inn. Like, in the inn. Dawn finally broke. The raid itself had lasted only 2 hours. But for me, it had felt far longer. There had been 20 national imperialists at the Ikeda Inn. The Shinsengumi had killed 7 and injured 4 more. I learned later that, with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, they arrested 23 people. The owner of the Ikeda Inn had also been arrested for trying to help the Choshu rebels escape. The Shinsengumi had won an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in enemy territory. Unfortunately, it came at a heavy cost. Okita had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Heisuke had been cut on the forehead, and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsengumi's soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance. 2 others were severely injured there as well. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto Military and Judiciary Commissioners also fought the Choshu Ronin. Following the Battle of the Ikeda Inn, the Shinsengumi had at last made a name for themselves. It looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. However, never could I have imagined what the ultimate result of their victory would be. I simply had no way of knowing what was in store for us. Oh, on our way back home from hiking, I fell asleep, right? And as soon as I wake up, there's like a truck full of like haystacks, just like in the other lane. And then Kyler notices I'm awake, and he pulls a dad joke on me, and he says like, what was it? Hey, it's Christian Bale's cousin. Hey, Bale. Or like he like phrased it as a question. It's like, hey, guess who Christian Bale's like cousin is, or like, you know, something like that. And like every fucking time he pulls a dad joke, he always gives this like it's a stupidly adorable smile. But like I actually liked that joke. I don't know. It was actually clever. I wouldn't have thought of that. But it just like drives past us and I'm like, wow, damn. And he's like, haha, it's a great way to wake up to a dad joke, right? This is what I'm gonna be putting up with for a while. Ah, but yeah. Anyways, it's the end of June 1864. Weeks passed since the Battle of the Ikeda Inn. Hey, you're finally awake. He could have done that too. He could have. I would have been angrier with that one though. The Bale one was actually pretty clever. The Shinsengumi grew stricter during their rounds to arrest the numerous outlaw ronin that escaped from the inn. Rumors surfaced of extremists who were plotting to exact revenge on the Shinsengumi. Additionally, there were also problems occurring with warriors from other domains. The atmosphere at the compound had been tense. Even so, things were finally settling down. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they relaxed their supervision. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. Yay! Promotion! One day, I was out cleaning the courtyard by myself when I heard soft footsteps approaching me.
すみません。こちらが新選組の屯所ですか?
That's a new person. Oh, yes. Oh, that's Light. I'm pretty sure that was Light. The Iba guy? The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering.
君は
Huh? Oh. Hijikata showed up suddenly, as if he'd heard us speak. Oh, okay, he was probably looking at him, not me. Thought I was special. Oh, Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, Iba ran towards Hijikata. He didn't even say his name! Yeah, it is Discount Okita though. Yeah, they have like similar bangs. And they both were green.
やっぱりトシさん八郎です。お久しぶりです。
おめえは八郎か。なんだってこんなところにいるんだ。
When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide. That
驚き
laugh.
ました。
Oh yeah.
革命で教師室に来てるんです。
Yeah, I heard the light laugh in there. Yeah.
驚きました。革命で教師室に来てるんです。
Yeah, that you could hear it.
それより新選組って本当にトシさんたちのことだったんですね。
He sounds a little softer for this performance though.
この目で見るまでは信じられなかったけど。
Yeah, like I'm not sure how else to explain it.
おめでとうございます。本当に侍になれたんですね。
おい、冷やかすなよ。
Excuse me.
まだ扱いは浪人と同じなんだからよ。
でも侍になりたいって夢が叶ったじゃないですか。
冷やかすなって言ってんだろ。
いいえ、江戸じゃ泣く子も黙る新選組といったらとても有名なんですよ。それに池田屋の話も聞いています。皆さんとてもご活躍だったみたいですね。
ぼちぼち。
He blushy. This is the first time he blushed in the game. Damn, dude. Hijikata seemed to be unusually flustered as he looked away. Had this man come to visit him? Their rapport suggested they'd known each other for some time. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata, may I ask who this is?
そうか。お前は初めてだった。
I mean, technically we just did.
まだ名乗っていませんでしたね。 僕伊庭八郎と言います。
Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet, have it? And I thought they were supposed to have fixed the typos in this game.
幕府直参旗本で大番氏奥住役を務めています。
I don't know what those are. I actually need to look at the terminology. What's a hatamoto? High-ranking vassals of the shogun who have the right to a direct audience with him and receive a stipend of less than 10,000 koku. Okay, cool. Obanshi, an official post in the shogunate who is treated and behaves as a military force. Also, I think it's cool you like switch right to left. It was like hatamoto, we got that as the first word, but we have to scroll left. Kind of like reading right to left, and just in general, if you're reading Japanese text, very interesting. Okuzume, an organization charged with protecting the shogun. It is comprised of talented swordsmen, including shogunate vassals and lower-ranking vassals. Okay, cool. Oh, my name is Hijaker Yukimura.
改めてよろしくお願いします。
Oh, yes. Nice to meet you too. As soon as Iba and I finished our introductions, Hijikata urged us indoors.
まあ立ち話もなんだ。中に入ってくる。
I took tea to the two in the common room. Hijikata told me to remain there, so I decided to listen in.
今日に来たのは奥詰めの仕事って。随分と出世したみてえだな。
Okuzumi? The word was unfamiliar.
奥詰めってのはな。
Okay, they explain it here
将軍の
too.
身辺を守るやつらのこ
He is? I am honored to meet such a man.
いえいえ、そんなことありません。父の仕事の縁でたまたまなんです。
But what would bring a man of his stature here, Hijikata? This meant Iba was someone who worked directly with the shogun. Why was such an important person here?
と。お前の考えてることはわかるぜ。なんで俺と知り合いか。
I slowly nodded.
こいつはな、旗本であると同時に、江戸じゃ4本指に入る道場の一つ、新行東流、伊庭道場の跡取り息子。
Wow, good for you.
その伊庭道場と俺たちがいた道場とは、そこそこ交流があった。その縁だ。
ええ、そうなんです。だからトシさんたちがいる今日に来ることになってとても楽しみにしていたんです。
勝手に喜んでる。だが、覚えとけよ。今日はそんなに楽しいところじゃねえか。
はい、肝に銘じておきます。でもそんなに危険なのに女の子でも大使が務まるんですか？
He saw right through my disguise. Iba glanced at me when he asked his question before looking to Hijikata. I glanced towards Hijikata, who looked uncomfortable. Iba seemed to pick up on something from our demeanors. Oh, excuse me. Well, that's why he's with the shogun.
秘密だったんですか？
He is very observant. I didn't want to confirm, so I stared at the floor without speaking. I'd just be like, I cannot confirm or deny that shit.
こいつはちょいと訳ありで預かってて、表向きは男ってことに。
There we go. Salvaged.
新選組でも一部の奴らしか知らない。ここでも下手なこと口にしない。
わかりました。トシさんがそう言うなら守りますよ。
Did he get louder? Iba drew Hijikata in closer in a jovial manner, and Hijikata seemed unsure how to react. Hijikata was normally really strict, so seeing him act this way was new. I had a lingering suspicion that Hijikata was actually enjoying himself. All of the commotion must have alerted the captains because they popped up out of nowhere.
おいおい、八郎じゃねえか。
Oh, I misread Hachiro as Nacho for a bit. I'm like, whoops, wrong game.
聞いたことがある声だと思ったらお前だったのか。
新八さん、原田さん、それに皆さんもお久しぶりです。
そうか、お前も今日に来たのか。武者修行か、それとも狂犬物か。
なわけねえし、お偉いさんの護衛とか視察なんだろ。
まあ、はい、そういうところですね。
あんたが今日に来るとか、それなりの職務について。
Iba nodded plainly in response.
君も今日に来たんだ。ま、死なない程度に気をつけなよ。
助言ありがとう。覚えておきます。
じゃあ今度飲みに行くか。
Of
なんなら
course.
今からでもいいんだぜ。
Of course. The captains surrounded Eva, speaking playfully one after the other. They all seemed to be enjoying the chance to catch up with each other. You know, I don't remember this guy showing up, even like with Soji's route when we first played Hakuoki. I really don't remember this guy. It seemed he really had been acquainted with everyone back in Edo. Hijikata watched their interaction with warmth in his eyes and muttered.
あいつは旗本で伊庭道場の跡取り息子のくせに。気に入ったのか知らんが、俺たちとつるみやがって。
He seems to be close with everyone. He seemed to be especially fond of Hijikata though. Because I guess apparently everyone is, right? But I didn't dare say it.
まあちょっとした顔なじみだ。訪ねてきたら中に通してやってくれ。
Of course. Understood. Before we knew it, evening had come, and Iba told us it was time for him to depart.
それじゃあまたね。
Oh, goodbye. His face seemed reluctant, if not a little forlorn, and he left the compound. I stared at him as he walked into the distance, until his figure disappeared. Iba was a mysterious person. Even if he was someone very important and upper class, he acted with integrity and kindness. He commanded a lot of respect from the captains of the Shinsengumi. I didn't know there was a samurai like him among the shogunate. Alright, let me check on that warrior record. It's July 1864. Okay, we're already jumping here. Alright. July 1864. 1 month had passed since the incident at the Ikeda Inn. After the battle, I was able to leave the compound much more often. I suppose after what I'd done, Hijikata thought I earned a little more trust. Wait, I just realized I was gonna check the warrior record. So, there's him. Closed. Closed. Budding. Closed. Closed still? Come on, I chose him! Bruh! No, I don't want Sunon. Okay, we'll see where this takes us. I didn't feel like I did anything extraordinary, but I was genuinely happy that Hijikata approved of me. On this particular day, I was out on patrol with Haruda and the 10th Division. There we go! That's what I want. Excuse me, Haruda? The Shinsengumi is out patrolling day and night, right? In order to protect Kyoto?
ああ、そうだぜ。それがどうかしたのか。
But what exactly is it that you do? Haruda was the only one I felt comfortably asking such a basic question. He was incredibly kind. In some ways, he felt out of place among the rougher members of the Shinsengumi.
まあ、ピンからキリまで大小様々だな。筋切りや追いはぎはもちろん、食い逃げも捕まえるし、喧嘩も止める。
People who don't pay for food?
商家を脅して金を奪おうとする奴らも俺ら新選組が取り締まる。
It wasn't really the answer I'd expected. The Shinsengumi's job seemed closer to a magistrate's than I'd first thought. Thinking back, I remembered how excited they were during the raid. What they did at the inn was far more intense than their day-to-day work. A little further down the road, a couple of men in Shinsengumi blues were waving at us. Nagakura! I guess our separate rounds brought us to the same spot.
Yo! 親父さんの情報、なんか手に入ったか?
No, nothing today.
なかなかすんなって。今日がダメでも明日がある。そうだろ?
Yes. There was something contagious about his optimism.
ねえ、新八、そっちはどうだ? 何か異常でもあった？
いや、なんも。けど、やっぱり町人たちの様子がせわしねえな。
Busy. I hadn't noticed it before, but he was right. They were indeed acting strange. It almost felt like they were nervous about something. Now that you mention it, it looks like they're getting ready to move houses.
ああ、戦火に巻き込まれる前に今日から避難し始めてるってとこか。
What? A war?
そういや、まだ教えていなかったな。長州の奴らが今日に集まってきてる。その関係で、俺らも警戒強化中ってわけだ。
生き田屋の件で長州を怒らせちゃったからな。あいつらの仲間から犠牲が出ちまったし、黙ってられないんだ。
Are the Choshu going to try something again?
さあな。まだはっきりしたことはわからない。
どっちにせよ、俺たち
Wait, hold on, did I miss that?
長州の連中が今日に来ても追い返すだけさ。
Oh, okay, never mind. They accepted their situation and never complained. I had a good deal of respect for the two of them.
長州と戦が。もしかすると近いうちに上から出動命令が出るかもしれないな。
You mean the Aizu domain will give you marching orders?
ああ、正式に幕府の一部隊として参加することになるかな。
そんな機会めったにないからな。せっかくだからお前も出てみろ。
What? I was perplexed by his sudden invitation. Does this mean I could march as a member of the Shinsengumi? Have I been promoted again? It seemed rather inappropriate for me to ask to participate just for curiosity's sake. Still, I very much hoped to be helpful in some way. Perhaps there was some way I could make myself useful, like at the Ikeda Inn. However, there was also the chance that I would become a hindrance. I want to come. Let me come. Yeah, that should get us with Haruda, right? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, we could help. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna come with. My mind was made up. I nodded to Haruda. I want to help. I would like to participate and help in some way.
お前の気持ちよくわかったぜ。
Of course.
もしその時が来たら、お前も参加できるよう俺も応援している。
Several days later. Pardon the intrusion. I carefully carried the serving platter with tea for the captains and made my way to the common room.
すまねえな。ありがとうよ。すまねえな。そうやってるとまるで故障みたいだな。
Well, I was one, technically. Correcting him crossed my mind, but instead I stayed silent as I passed out the tea. Not pissed out the tea. This isn't Golden Wind.
ありがとうよ。すまないね。こんな仕事まで頼んでしまって。
Oh, it's nothing. After all, I am Hijikata's page. I spoke barely above a whisper, but Inoue smiled and nodded at me. Okita took a sip of his tea, and a mild grimace flickered across his face. What the heck? Is something wrong with the tea?
ちょっとぬるいかな。人数分のお茶を用意してぬるくなったんだね。君らしいって言えば君らしいけど。
I'm sorry. I'll make a new batch right now.
いいって。
Don't
俺
worry.
ぬるい方が好きだな。すぐに飲めるし。なあ、はじめくん。
そうだな。こうも暑い日にはぬるめの茶もいいかもしれない。
It was silent for a second before the door opened. What the fuck did I press? Wait. Okay. Kondo entered with a stern look upon his face. Ruh-roh.
会津藩から正式な要請が下った。ただいまより我ら新選組は総員出陣の準備を開始する。
Ooh, shit. There it is! Oh shit, there it is! Oh, I forgot this was it! Oh, we're gonna play it again! Yes! Enjoy it while we can! You know what? I need to record that on my phone, make it a... You know what? Do that right now so I can always come back to it in case we need to, you know, play this for a, oh my god, sound requests. Oh my gosh. There we go. So I'll be sure to use that as a sound bit the next time someone requests for that. I'll make sure to edit it too. One more time. God, legendary sound bit right now. I wonder if the people who voice directed this game would know that we would meme this so much. Excuse me. Well, that woke me up.
我らの働きをお認めくださったのだな。
Whoa! He looks just as happy with the news as the rest of them. Hold on, actually, you know what? I'm gonna edit that really quick just so I can come back to that. Hold on. Make sure to favorite that. Oh my god, yeah, I need that on hand at all times. Perfect. Alright. So now if anyone ever redeems that point, it's there. Apparently, getting orders directly from the Aizu domain was an occasion for some excitement. Hijikata, however, was the lone exception.
はしゃいでる暇はねえんだ。てめえら、とっとと準備しやがれ。長州の奴らはとっくに今日に来てるんだ。俺たちが遅れてどうする？
Yeah. As Hijikata rebuked the men, the warriors all scattered to their stations, and they all went. There we go. I'll do it again. I fucking love that sound bit. When it was only the captains and myself remaining in the room, Hijikata vented. Oh, I knew he was sus.
てめえの尻に火がついてから俺らを召喚しても大手だろお前。
Thinking back to what happened at the Ikeda Inn. While the Shinsengumi were fighting hard, the Aizu domain was elsewhere and came strolling in much later. Remembering that incident, I felt like I could understand Hijikata a little better.
沖田君と東堂君は豚書で待機してください。不服でしょうが、私もご一緒しますので。池田屋での負傷が癒えていないように、私の腕も思うように動きませんか。
He rubbed his left arm absently and looked away.
傷が治っていないわけじゃないですけどね、僕の場合。
Oh.
でも確かに本調子じゃないかな。休んでいろって言うなら休みますけど。
俺だって別に大した怪我じゃないけどさ、近藤さんたちが過保護すぎるんだって。
'Tis only a flesh wound. Okita answered smoothly while Heisuke pouted, just very fitting of their personalities.
大した怪我じゃないとか嘘つくなよ。昨日も傷口に薬を塗られて悲鳴上げてた。
Damn, sounded like Heisuke needed the ambulance.
うわ、そういうこと言う。佐野さんは武士の情けとかないの。
だが悲鳴上げたってのは本当なんだろうなあ。
ちょっとそういうこと聞くなって。黙っててくれたっていいだろ。
He glanced sideways at me. But Heisuke, it's true that your injury hasn't recovered. His bangs hid the scar rather well, but it still looked painful. Yeah, that's a good thing about his character design. It hides that forehead wound, so they don't have to add in another sprite. Nagakura broke the awkward silence.
そういえば、もし新選組が出陣することになったら、一緒に参加したいとか言ってたよな。
Well, yeah, if that means I can be with Haruda. Oh, there we go. It's been a while since she said it. Even though I told Haruda that I was into the idea of joining them, it still seemed a little risky.
おお、そうだな。こんな機会は二度とないかもしれん。
For some reason, Kondo was easy to convince. I wasn't expecting him to be so easily swayed.
そいつが行くなら、俺も行った方がいいんじゃないか。怪我が治ってねえんだろ。本所で留守番をしてろって。
よかったじゃねえか。
Are you sure it'll be alright? Hijikata and Sannan sighed at the sight of my reservations.
今度も無事で済む保証はねえんだ。お前は豚書でおとなしくしてろ。
君は新選組の足を引っ張るつもりですか。遊びで同行していいものではありませんよ。
三男総長、それは彼女が迷惑をかけなければ同行を許可するという意味の発言ですか。
Yeah, let's go. Root for me. I blinked. Saito? Standing up for me? Sannan seemed nearly as surprised as I was. Somehow you beat a shambler from Darkest Dungeon 2 that ambushed you. Oh, nice. Good counter. Good comeback.
まさか斎藤君まで彼女を参加させたいというつもりですか。
Saito simply shook his head.
彼女は池田屋事件において我々新選組の助けとなりました。
Mm-hmm.
働きのみを評価するのであれば一概に足手まといとは言えない。
Never in a million years would I have imagined that Saito might have a word of praise for me. My eyes grew wide, elated, and Kondo nodded in agreement.
よし、わかった。君の参加に関しては俺が全責任を持とう。もちろん同行を希望するのであればな。
Shambler super nasty, the nasty warrior. Sannan still didn't seem convinced. I looked around the room until my eyes met Okita's.
戦場に行くんだって分かってるなら、あとは君の好きにすればいいと思うよ。
It looked like I wouldn't get any help from Okita. Perhaps I'd be able to help them out, like I had during the Battle of the Ikeda Inn. I nodded. Yes, I would like to participate. Okay, I don't have to choose. Awesome. Every turn a Shambler hits your entire party with damage over time. Oh, that is gross. After that, everything was a blur. As quickly as we could, we prepared for battle and marched to the Fushimi Magistrate's office. Excuse me. There were a number of the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner's men at the office as well, preparing for battle with the Choshu. Walking proudly in front of the men, Kondo approached the government official near the gate.
会津中将松平片森様をお預かり新選組京都守護職の要請により長谷参陣申した
You know, I don't even remember them having the white coats, but I know they didn't have that in the anime adaptations or anything. And I don't know if like, historically, like, you know, they had the white coats instead as well, like, you know, for the big battles. I don't remember. Let's see. The Shambler either shields itself or gives itself dodge. But the worst part is it spawns 2 tentacles. Oh, what do you mean that's the worst part? That's the best part. Katamori Matsudaira was the lord of the Aizu domain, and also the Kyoto military commissioner, which made him a very important person. The man standing near the gate looked slightly taken aback by the mention of the Shinsengumi.
妖精だとそのような連絡は届いておらん
No, that didn't make any sense. What's going on? Perhaps sensing my confusion, Saito leaned over and whispered under his breath.
内輪の情報伝達さえ合わない選挙に子供の
Do you mean the Choshu is overpowering the shogunate's forces?
そのともわかりしかし敵方に翻弄されてはいるのだ
The Judiciary Commissioner and the Military Commissioner had similar organizations, but they operated very differently. The Military Commissioner's office was under the Aizu domain, while the Kuwana domain controlled the Judiciary Commissioner. I didn't fully understand the relationship between each domain, but so far as I knew, the Aizu and Kuwana weren't fond of one another.
しかし我らには会津藩からの正式な書状がある上の者に取り次いでいただければ
取り継ごうとも回答は同じださあ帰れイブのごときに用はないわ
How awful. And after they'd asked for the Shinsengumi's help, I felt Harada's hand on my shoulder and turned to look up at him.
まあお前が落ち込むことじゃないさ俺たちの扱いなんざいつもこんなもんだ
But this is so frustrating. I wasn't a member of the Shinsengumi, but even so, I'd been living with the Shinsengumi men, seeing how they worked for myself. I couldn't bear to see them treated like this. Damn, dude, it's just non-stop essay and chat. So when a tentacle attacks, it shields itself, gains speed, gains plus 50% damage, and gains plus 5% crit. These buffs are permanent until you destroy the tentacle. Oh. That is gross. You have to kill the Shambler, obviously, but if you leave the tentacles alive too long, then they'll buff themselves to a ridiculous amount. And the Shambler replaces any dead tentacles every turn. Oh god, no, I know what that's like. Oh, that's gross. Yeah. Sometimes in your RPGs, if you get that certain enemy like that, oof, gross stuff. Everyone at the Shinsengumi has worked so hard to maintain peace in Kyoto. How could these people, who are supposed to be our allies, turn us away without a second thought?
だがここはこらえてくれ俺らが諸子隊に対して下手に騒げば合図の顔を潰しちまうかもしれないしな
Oh. The Kuwana would only need to complain that the Shinsengumi hadn't showed them proper respect to make trouble for the Aizu. All of the men, including Harada, understood what needed to be done, and they endured.
局長、諸次第では話になりません。奉行所を離れ会津藩と合流してはいかがでしょうか。
Saito's suggestion to Kondo was rudely interrupted by Takeda.
ここを離れるだと。
Oh, this guy.
戦場で軍令を無視して何とするつもりだ。
Kuwabara. I know, I was thinking the same thing.
局長、戦場では伝令が拘束するものです。自ら動くなど愚の骨頂。今はこの場で待機すべきものと考えます。
ここが我らに与えられた陣ならその話わからんでもない。だが今は我が新選組の身体に関わる問題でもある。
君は新選組の戦奉行であるこの私に向かって意見を言うつもりか。
Well, yeah, I mean, captain's still important too, right? Like their opinions.
いや、斉藤君の言うことにも一理。
Kondo nodded deeply as he glanced at Saito.
我が新選組はこれより守護職が設営している陣を探す。
And with that, the Shinsengumi set off to find the soldiers of the Aizu domain. Night had fallen by the time we arrived at Kujo Beach. Oh, Kujo. After leaving the Fushimi magistrate's office, we made for the Aizu manor. Upon arriving, we relayed our previous encounter and asked for new orders. The official we met with directed us to go to Kujo Beach. However,
新選組が我々会津藩と共に待機だ。
oh, even the Aizu soldiers seemed confused by our presence.
そんな連絡は受けていない。すまんが藩邸へ問い合わせてくれるか。
Nagakura appeared to have had enough.
あ？お前らのところ藩邸が新選組は九条河原へ行けって言ったんだよ。その俺らを適当に扱うってのは新選組を呼びつけたお前らの上司をないがしろにする行為だって分かってんのか？それは私に言われても。
The man flinched, then fell silent. Kondo's mouth split in a wide grin.
陣営の責任者と話がしたい。上に取り次いでいただけますか。
Alas, after a great deal of trouble, we were allowed to remain with the troops at Kujo Beach. The chief and the captains left the rest of us to speak with the Aizu commanders. They returned some time later, looking tired and drained. Inoue, who'd gone with them, also wore a bitter half-smile.
どうやらここの会津藩の兵たちは主戦力じゃなくただの予備兵らしい。会津藩の主だった兵たちはハマグリ御門の方を守っているそうだ。
They're treating the Shinsengumi like reserves?
一緒に来た年齢の話じゃ一刻を争う事態だったんじゃねえのか。
状況が動き次第即座に戦場へ馳せる。今の俺たちにできるのはそれだけだ。
So, all we can do is wait. There was a chance that the call could come at night. Accordingly, the men stayed awake, ready to act.
休むなら言えよ。俺の膝くらいなら貸してやる。
Hmm? Oh no, I'm fine. Wait. Oh, sorry, I'm like dozing off. Haruka laughed as I hurriedly shook my head. Yeah, we're getting somewhere with Haruka, right? Finally. It didn't seem fair to me to be the only one to sleep. Anxiety wrapped around us all as the night wore on and dawn approached. At first I tried my best to stay awake, but ended up nodding off. Even as I drifted in and out of consciousness, I could see them nearby, persisting against the night. And then, at the break of dawn... A cannon?! You keep thinking your internet connection's dying when there's pauses in my commentary. Yeah, no, that's just me. I know, I thought I woke myself up. Hold on, maybe I need to play the thing again to wake me up. Yeah. I should keep playing that, it would just, like, keep me awake. Cannon fire cracked through the morning air. In the distance, I heard men shouting and the clang of metal. The captains looked at one another and nodded. I stared at him for a moment, perhaps not yet fully awake, until I understood what he was saying. Me too. Right! I nodded quickly and got ready to depart. It is dying just like our hopes and dreams. Yeah, definitely. How are we doing today, Ghost? What's up? An Aizu official tried to stand in our way. Even during our lengthy march the day before, I'd never seen Hijikata angry. Maybe because of his position as commander, he was careful how he expressed himself when his temper flared up. But it looked as if he reached his limit. Normally, he left the yelling to Nagakura. Of course, yeah, duh, no shit. That's the guy with the guy who fucking shouts in the mic, of course. Anyways, he left the yelling to Nagakura and stayed patient when speaking with army officials. This time, however, he finally had enough. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Hijikata was in no mood for excuses. Jeez! Damn, hold on. He's really angry. Can I hear that again? The build-up is like so weird. It's like he's like talking normally and then it goes into I don't know, I didn't expect that from Hijikata. I have played this before, but it's like, oh, I forgot. And not much with you, tired as hell and not talking about the underworld? Definitely not. I feel that though, yeah. Man, I've been tired recently too. Everyone tired. Yeah. Excuse me, Hijikata's not having none of this. Ain't having none of this. Without even waiting for a response, Hijikata spun around and stalked off, fuming. He does have the range, yeah. It just like caught me off guard, because it's just like, you know, calm, and then blah, blah, blah. Where are we going? I didn't dare raise my voice above a whisper as I asked Saito, who was walking near me. Hamaguri Gate? You mean where Aizu's main force is protecting, right? Yes. Hijikata's fury seemed to rouse the Aizu's reserve, who up to this point seemed flustered by the threat of conflict. In the end, they followed the Shinsengumi to the Hamaguri Gate. Before long, we'd arrived. This is fucked up. The gate was pockmarked with scores of bullets, Pockmarks? I've never heard that word before. Although, if, playing this game before, pretty sure we've seen this route, and like I don't remember that word. But anyways, everywhere, dead and dying soldiers littered the ground. The acrid stench of firearms hung in the air. Even though I had tried to prepare myself mentally, the sight broke my heart. The scars of war lay right before my eyes. The enemy, however, was nowhere to be seen. The battle was already over. After a moment of stunned silence, several of our men were dispatched by Hijikata to investigate. Kondo sighed.
しかし天使様の御所に討ち入るなど長州は一体何を考えているのだ。
やっていることがよくわからんね。長州は尊王派のはずなんだがな。
Kondo simply nodded in agreement. The Choshu defined themselves as those who revered the emperor above all else, yet they attacked his home? It didn't make sense to me either. Nevertheless, the damage was done. They should be arrested. They should be killed on sight. I was in the middle of pondering their reasons when Saito returned.
夜半から朝方にかけて浜栗御門へ押しかけた長州勢。会津と薩摩の兵力に退けられたのだ。
The Aizu and Satsuma had been guarding the gate. This proved to be too much for the Choshu, who were forced to retreat. The corner of Hijikata's mouth curled into a sarcastic grin.
薩摩が会津の手出す。世の中変われば変わるもんだな。あんなに仲が悪かったはずなのに。いや、長州が共通の敵となっただけか。
The Satsuma had never been on good terms with the Aizu and other Tokugawa family domains. They had been trying to outsmart the Tokugawa and ally with the imperial court to expel foreign powers. I recalled my father telling me that they were much the same as the Choshu in this regard. Unlike the Choshu, however, the Satsuma had gone to war with the English and suffered a devastating loss. Following their defeat, the Satsuma seemed to have become more open to cooperating with the shogunate. Or so I'd heard, but these were only rumors.
土方さん、公家御門の方にはまだ長州の奴らが残ってるらしいぜ。
Hijikata's expression hardened as he considered Harada's words. Suddenly, Yamazaki appeared. Oh shit.
副長、今回の御所襲撃の中心人物らが天王山に撤退しているそうです。
Mount Tenno was located between Kyoto and Osaka. They seemed to be escaping from Fushimi towards Osaka. I don't remember any mountains like that. A wild Yamazaki appeared. It's time to throw a Pokeball at him. After hearing the reports from both Harada and Yamazaki, Hijikata contemplated deeply. Kondo was recognized as the formal head of the Shinsengumi. However, all major decisions were naturally deferred to Hijikata, because of course. This was no exception, and I could see that all eyes are on him. Currently checking my note. Wait, no, what? I don't know what I'm saying. He was silent for a few moments, and then I saw his mouth curve in a small smile.
てめえら、今から忙しくなる。
Alright.
隊を率いて公家御門へ向かい、長州の残党どもを追い返せ。
あいよ。
斉藤と山崎を状況の確認を頼む。当初の予定通り、この浜栗御門の守備に当たれ。
承知。はい。
それから大将、あんたには大仕事がある。手間だろうが、会津の上層部に掛け合って、 追悼の許可をもらってきてくれ。
長州軍の追悼だな。
天王山に向かった奴ら以外に敗山兵商家に押しなりしながら落ち延びるんだ。追悼する。俺らも今日を離れる。その許可をもらいに行けるのは
The Shinsengumi were entrusted with the protection of Kyoto. In addition, this war was for aiding the Aizu and protecting the gate. Leaving our post to chase after the Choshu meant that we needed permission from the military commissioner. In short, permission from the Aizu.
局長である俺が行けばきっと守護職も取り合ってくれるだろう。
After what we'd gone through the day before, I didn't imagine Kondo's task would be an easy one. Still, if the representative was anyone other than Kondo, the Aizu would be unlikely to grant the request, let alone entertain the notion of a meeting.
源さんの守護職邸に行く近藤さんと同行して大将の放送しながら見張ってみても。
はいよ、任されました。
The soldiers snickered at Hichikata's joke. Snickers? Kondo gave an embarrassed grin. Perhaps he chose not to deny it because he knew he might go a little crazy.
残りの者は俺と共に天王山へ向かう。それから
He looked directly at me. I wasn't a warrior, nor did I have political ties. Hey Malachi, what's up? How we doing? I'm tired, but I've been great. Yeah, I was going hiking with my boyfriend and his kid earlier. Oh, today. So I can't complain. It's just been a good few days. Life is good. Hichikata didn't know what to do with me.
お前は好きな場所に同行しろ。だが近藤さんについていくのが一だ。
Alright. Kondo was meeting with the leaders of the Aizu. If I joined him, there would be nothing for me to do. I had several options. Hichikata would be pursuing the leaders of the Choshu attack toward Tenno Mountain. Saito would be staying at Hamaguri Gate to protect it and to gather information. Harada and his men would be going to Kuge Gate to stop the attack on the Imperial Estate. The question was, where would I go? Okay, so they said Harada Kuge Gate, right? Yes, obviously we're going to Kuge Gate. I don't even have to... Okay, hold on. Save here for future reference, but yeah, we're gonna go there. You're catching up on some Kamen Rider? Cool. Very nice. I decided to accompany Harada to the Kuge Gate. When we arrived, it was immediately clear that the fight wasn't as decisive as the one at Hamaguri. The Judiciary Commissioner's men, who moved to Kuge from Hamaguri, were still fighting Choshu soldiers, refusing to yield.
俺たちの前に出るなよ。危ないからな。
Before I could respond, he was off, the rest of the Shinsengumi thundering into the battle behind him.
行くぞお前ら！
Harada led the Shinsengumi warriors and dived right into the center of the battlefield.
御所へ討ち入るつもりなら、まず俺を倒してから行くんだな。くそ。
Harada's turned to scream in the
新
mic.
選組か。
ああ、新選組だ。死にたいやつからかかってこいよ。おのれ。
Ooh. War cries rose up from both sides, and the battle began. Did someone say war cries? This time, however, the force defending the Imperial Estate had the Shinsengumi on their side. The battle did not last long. Yeah, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. I know, yeah, I was shocked to hear that today. But yeah.
もはやここまでか。
A great moan of pain went up from the soldiers of the Choshu.
逃がすなおい
The officers of the Judiciary Commissioner shouted to their men. They had scarcely begun to move, however. The man covering the Choshu escape turned and faced them. He died before he had to see the prequel shit they're releasing. Yeah, I know, they keep milking out the Star Wars franchise. What's next? I don't... The last I heard was the Ahsoka stuff, which I'm cool with. Ahsoka's a cool character. But yeah, some of the other stuff, it's why do they keep putting this stuff out? Disney. He planted himself solidly in the way of the... I have to take my medication really quick. He planted himself solidly in the way of the pursuing forces, Shinsengumi included. You meant the Mufasa prequel. Oh, that. Okay, yeah. I still don't get why they had to put that out. My statement still stands about Star Wars, though. There's some of those things that, I feel like, we don't need them. It's yeah, I don't know. But Disney, I mean, it's still, it also goes back to Disney. They keep trying to milk all this stuff out. Thought he meant Mufasa too. I don't know. I was just talking about Star Wars, so it's the last thing to come out was actually the Acolyte recently, but they are milking it. Okay. No, I'm just saying the last thing I heard was Ahsoka, but now that I forgot. See, I forgot the Acolyte existed, which is why I'm trying to block this shit out of my mind. It's just, they're milking it. The sequel trilogy was not needed. Yeah, it wasn't. You know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I still haven't seen, the very last part of the sequel trilogy. I thought I was the only one, but, when we put on Star Wars the other day at work, one of the interns, was yeah, she's seen the first two sequel trilogies, but not the last one. I still haven't seen it at this point. That's a good thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm just I don't know. I'm curious, but okay. Yeah. I still think I should watch it at some point just to see what what it's it's all about, but and you've only seen the first one. Yeah. I do out of the two that I've seen, I did the first one better. It was funny seeing the fucking green milk and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. There was something that one girl they were trying to force, I feel like they were trying to force the romance with her and Finn. I don't know, but I mean, it was still entertaining to watch, but yeah. Can we all agree the prequel trilogy was goated? Tell that to my fucking coworkers. No, when we were watching, okay, so someone put on the Star Wars, the original trilogy on at work, but Toilet Guard immediately jumps to the sequel trilogy because he goes, I fucking hate the prequels. Yeah, I mean, they're not the best. Definitely not episode 1. But I mean, I don't mind, honestly, I do like episode 3 a lot. Because, we get funny stuff out of that. And, it actually was, compelling stuff. But, yeah, I can't agree on that. Revenge of the Sith is your personal favorite. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought that was fine. No, but, I have to go with the OG trilogy if we're gonna, really choose favorites. And just rewatching them again. Episode 5. That's the fun one. But anyways. It's this fucking dude. He planted himself solidly in the way of the pursuing forces, Shinsengumi included.
Hey, ザクども光栄に思うんだな。てめえらとはこの俺様が遊んでやるぜ。
Did he say hey? Hold on. Hey! Hey!
Hey, ザクども
Yeah, hey!
光栄に思うんだな。てめえらとは
I just love this guy
この俺様が遊ん
has
でやるぜ。
gun. This is the one guy with gun. Like, I think that's his whole character, gun. And, you know, to be Haruda's rival, but... You and your cousin be quoting the hell out of the memes. Oh yeah, of course, who doesn't? I mean, yeah, I'll admit, that's kind of why we like the prequels here, but yeah. The best thing about the prequels is that they brought us Duel of the Fates composed by John Williams. I agree! I absolutely agree. That's like one of the best... Honestly, one of my... That has to be one of my favorite, if not, and also like one of the best movie compositions, I think. Like, that goes so hard. Like, that is the one good thing that came out of episode 1. Yeah, like, I kind of want to watch episode 1 again just to see, just to remember how bad it was. And also because, Vinny Vinesauce, right? Like, he has, like, whole bits of him doing, like, the Watto voice. Like, I think one of his most popular bits is, like, Annie, I'm your real father! And it's, like, yeah, like, it's very unhinged. Double the memes, twice the dank. There we go. Should I watch the prequel trilogy? Malachi be like, do it. Yeah, see, like, I kind of wish we put on episode 3 because you get a whole lot of memes out of that. And because it's just fun, it's just kind of funny seeing Anakin go all, like, edgelord and stuff. which reminds me, Kyler was telling me about how he cosplayed Anakin back in the day because he was all like, yeah, man, I connected with him because, like, he kind of was a bit of an edgelord back in the day from what he's told me. So I'm like, yeah, I see it. Your coworker deadass told you better bring the jokes on Wednesday. Wasn't sure why until you remembered what day it's gonna be. Oh yeah, no, I'm going to be. We're gonna have a special day. We're gonna have a very special occasion, just like last year. I'm so ready. Man, and you know what? It's funny. I'm going to New York like the week after, and I'm just like wondering, man, what if I actually went on 9/11? Like, we were talking about this earlier, but I guess like, cause like it came up on my YouTube recs, but CNN was like mentioning how like they're considering making 9/11 a national holiday. Specifically, the New Yorker's pushing it, which I can see. I'm all for it. I don't mind. I already commemorate it. But, yeah. We'll see, I guess, if I can get holiday pay from it. There was a flash of silver. A sound like the crack of thunder filled the air. It rang loudly in my ears. I looked up, dizzy, to see the man holding a silver barrel with smoke rising from it. A gun? A gun. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. It was smaller than a normal gun, making it easier to conceal. It was called a handgun? A handgun. I love this fucking pose. He is ready to pop off right here. He looked pointedly at the remaining officials, his mouth twisted in a grin. The reason why people couldn't approach him was because of his aura, rather than a fear of the gun. He was clearly outnumbered, yet looked unbothered. In fact, he seemed to be enjoying the situation. It was clear to everyone that he was no normal man.
遊んでくれるのは結構だが、お前だけ飛び道具を使うのは卑怯だな。
Harada? So anyway, I started blasting. Yeah. Harada moved a few steps closer to the stranger.
は？卑怯じゃねえって。そっちこそ長物持ってんじゃねえか。
I'm sorry, what? That big old pig sticker. What? This is... It's my first time hearing this word. We're learning new things today. Both men grinned a challenge to one another. Almost too fast to see, the point of Haruda's spear swept through the air toward the stranger. He leaned out of the way at the last possible moment. Speaking of prequels, you've been binge-watching Better Call Saul and you're on the last season. Not as good as Breaking Bad in your opinion, but still pretty good so far. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Man. Jump scared. Yeah, I know, right? The eyes. I remember they had like the similar cut-ins with the bald father, and then you could see his head. His bald head is the cut-in.
肯定先でごまかすなんざ選手としても男としても二流だろ
The stranger grinned and whistled like he was finding all of this quite entertaining. Oh, that's right, he still hasn't name-dropped himself. Just kidding.
新選組10番組組長原田佐之助
They talked not so much like enemies, but like rivals. The air between them was tense, but I felt no evil intent from either man. Obviously I'm cheering for Haruda, but like, I just... Yeah, no, that's what we're doing. Sanosuke gonna get clapped? Not if I have anything to say about it. Yeah. I'm gonna cheer him on. Even if there wasn't any ill will between them, they were enemies. I didn't know much about pistols, but I knew they were very lethal. If I tried to help, I would get in the way. There was really only one thing I could do. You can do it, Haruda! All night long! Also, how is it only 11:11? It feels later than that. I didn't want him to get hurt, so I cheered him on. Haruda gave me a quick smile, then turned to face Shiranui.
知らないだったなお前さこの討ち入りは失敗するって分かってたんだ
まあな御所へ突入するにしちゃ
I hope I chose the right answer. I started earlier than usual. I mean, yeah, but still, it just feels later. If you're up for tomorrow, you might get Persona 3 Reload for the PS5. Well, hell yeah. By all means. He was right, of course. The Choshu didn't bring nearly enough of a force to conquer the Imperial estate. It was still surprising to hear it directly from one of their own. Haruda simply shrugged.
逃げた連中はこのまま見逃してやるよ俺たちの仕事は御所の防衛が第一だ
I thought back to when Hijikata had given his men their orders. He had told Haruda to deal with the Choshu. He certainly hadn't told him to kill them all. Shiranui didn't know that, of course, but would he withdraw quietly? I held my breath and waited. Finally, he let out a massive sigh.
命拾いしたなてめえら
He slammed his gun back into its holster. He swept a glare slowly across all the men. Finally, he stopped on Haruda. Clear intent to kill emanated from him.
新選組の原田佐之助次は殺すぞ俺様の顔をしっかり覚えとくんだな
Okay. With a final snarl in our direction, he turned and was gone. The situation was thus resolved, but something felt wrong. I didn't know what to say to Haruda, so I simply stood by his side. Haruda looked towards the direction they ran. He looked a little sad. Did I say the right thing?
今さら逃げてどこまで行ける
What?
長州のやつらさこのまますんなり長州まで帰れっこで
Something wrong. Yeah, that you.
これからが大変だろうぜ
They would be running through enemy territory. Chased down, pursued, driven into a corner. They would likely never make it home.
これが戦の習いってやつだから仕方ねえ。知らぬやつとはまた会うことになるな。そんな気がする。
I don't know why, but I had the same hunch. Like, a lot of that guy. If you see him again, will you fight him? The moment they had met, the two of them had been enemies. Best frenemies. It was love at first sight. But not really. You're going for me, right, Haruda? Haruda was one of the captains of the Shinsengumi. So long as Shiranui was allied with the Choshu, there would come a time when they had to face each other.
まあ、俺の槍も避けられるし、銃を相手にするのはちと骨が折れそうだ。
I don't know, he does seem to be talking about him a lot.
あいつが敵なら戦う。
Harada. There was no mistaking the resolve in his voice. I had no doubt that the man called Shiranui would prove a dangerous foe. But Harada's smile put me at ease, even for just a little while. The battle at Kuge Gate was finally over. The men who remained began to clean up. I helped as best as I could, moving rubble and tending to the wounded, glad that the battle was finally over. No, I definitely feel like I might have messed that up. Hold on. Let me check the warrior record. Yeah, shit. I might have said the wrong thing. Let me double check. Sanosuke wouldn't have gotten clapped. Never trust the aim of a man that holds his pistol sideways. Exactly! He's just showing off. I said the wrong thing. Hold on, I'm gonna start over. Yeah, I fucked up. No, we gotta change this. I think this is a very pivotal point right here. Speaking of Persona, I just want to update us real quick. You're no longer associated with the Persona cosplayers group. Oh, well, okay. Get rid of Shiranui, that's what we gotta go with. Excuse me. Harada's eyes widened in shock when I spoke up. If I was honest with myself, I was terrified. This strange man was very dangerous, but Harada saw something in him, so perhaps he would hear me out. Shiranui, right? Could you please leave now? Very kindly. Yes, but can't you let this all go? I felt a cold bead of sweat roll down my spine. This, I thought, must be how a frog feels when it catches the eye of a snake. Because, you know, someday it'll feed on a tree frog, which I guess is supposed to be me. However, I mustered my courage and spoke up. Well, all of the Choshu soldiers ran away. Excuse me. Whoops. He'd clearly been serving as a sort of rear guard for the Choshu. Now that they're gone, I don't think there really is a reason for you to fight. His eyebrows went up, and he looked at me more closely with a hint of confusion. Our job is to protect the Imperial estate. If you still insist on drawing your gun, then... Shiranui's expression was still twisted in displeasure. He let out an exasperated sigh. Then... He put his gun away and he scratched his head. The depth. Harada moved himself between me and Shiranui.
俺たちも長州となり合うつもりはないさ。まあ、お楽しみは素直に取っておくんな。
ああ、お前とは相入れねえな。俺は好きなものは最初に食う派だ。
And with a raucous laugh, Shiranui fell back. Once he'd put a good enough distance between himself and Harada, he spun around, waving nonchalantly. Well, okay, no fight then. Harada gave me a short tap on the head. There we go. Yeah, see, he was getting too enamored with Shiranui and the other choice. This is what we want.
あんまり無茶すんなよ。心配すんじゃね
Okay, so like being useful and doing the reckless thing is what wins him over. He hadn't said much, but those few words were enough to let me know that he cared about me. I'm sorry. I mumbled. Harada looked at me for a moment, and his eyes softened. That's true, it is too early for them to have a dramatic fight. But on the other hand, why can't they have a dramatic fight? Every encounter should be a dramatic fight. There we go. Okay, that's what we want. Check back on the warrior
え。
record.
お前の判断は正しかった。こっちも余計な怪我を立たずに済んだ。
Okay, double check. Double check to make sure. There we go. This is what we want. Yeah. This is the pivotal moment.
土方さんの指示は長州を追い返すことじゃな。奴らの追悼は俺たちの仕事じゃねえ。ありがとう。
You're welcome. Harada looked towards the direction they ran. He looked a little sad.
しかしな、今更逃げてどこまで行けるんだ。
What?
長州のやつがさ、このまますんなり長州に帰れっこね。これからが大変だろうぜ。
They would be running through enemy territory. Chased down, pursued, driven into a corner. They would likely never make it home.
これが戦の習いってやつだから仕方ねえ。知らぬやつはまた会うことになるな。そんな気がする。
I don't know why, but I had the same hunch. If you see him again, will you fight him? The moment they had met, the two of them had been enemies. Okay, I think... Are they repeating the dialogue? Yeah. I don't need to read this again.
まあ、俺の槍も避けられるし。
Okay, the only difference is he's paying more attention to me.
あいつが敵なら
Yeah, okay, hold on. Yep. Skip over that. The Choshu extremists' attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. However, they'd encountered some odd people. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, they all found themselves facing powerful enemies. Shikage Kazama, who defeated Okita Ikeda, they're just now name-dropping them. He claimed to be from the Satsuma domain. Kyuju Amagiri, who shattered Heisuke's head guard at Ikeda. He also claimed membership in the Satsuma. They had also met Kyo Shiranui, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. In the meantime, the attack on the imperial estate failed in the face of the combined Aizu and Satsuma forces. However, some soldiers managed to escape, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the imperial estate to ash. For a second, you thought it said Heisuke's head got watermelon. I mean, it could have been. Damn, you're tripping too. As a result of the Choshu attack, many imperial nationalists were executed. The Hamaguri rebellion was over. The Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were known as enemies of the court. Cool. Oh, man. A watermelon. Yep, iconic kanji quote. Well, we're in August 1864. I thought they were supposed to give us the cool pictures. Oh, whatever. The short time span between the battles of the Ikeda Inn and the Hamaguri Rebellion created significant civil unrest within Kyoto. The Shinsengumi redoubled their efforts to keep people safe, but the more they worked, the more the shogun put them to work. Now you need to get Troy Baker to say the watermelon line. It would be pretty cool hearing that in person. His approval of their activities meant more official business, and it stretched them thin. Even with recruits from Kyoto and Osaka, it wasn't enough. After many discussions, the Shinsengumi chose to recruit even more men from Edo. Heisuke was tasked with preliminary scouting in the city. The harsh summer sun beat down on us. Kondo and I saw Heisuke off, his grin wide and his bags packed from the night before. Okay, I promise to help as much as I can. The plan was for Heisuke to go to Edo early and scope the potential men. Kondo would follow behind a month after, as he had the final say with recruits. But actually, this was all preparation to meet a specific person. Isn't there someone you mentioned wanting to see? Oh no, not him. Ah, it's the end of my Powerade. Yeah, we all bought some Powerade before going hiking. I got the Mountain Berry Blast. Kyler was calling them Gatorades, so I wasn't sure if I should have corrected him or not. But I haven't had Powerade in a while. I think it's funny they made Ito a comic relief character. I know, right? Like, especially in the school, the Sweet School Life adaptation. Oh my god. Yeah, he's just so fruity. Kondo nodded confidently, but Heisuke looked like he wasn't quite as sure. Okay, be careful. It should be quite hot on the way, so be sure to drink plenty of water so you don't get dehydrated. I watched him go, and the smaller his back became, the lonelier I felt. When I couldn't see him anymore, my heart twinged. I glanced up at Kondo. Are you thinking about all the new warriors you'll be getting? He grinned, looking truly happy. His relief at recruiting new members reflected just how worried he must have been. This dude kinda looked like Phoenix, right? Yeah, you know, he's got the slick back hair. And the eyebrows. I hadn't realized how much we were struggling. Now, Kondo could finally smile. But he's always smiling. Time passed quickly after Heisuke left, and a month soon went by. The day for Kondo to leave for Edo was upon us. I came across him in the yard, mired in his thoughts. Hello, Kondo. Oh no, nothing like that. I was just thinking about how you'll be on your way to Edo tomorrow. It will be a little lonely around here, once you've left headquarters too. Don't worry. Time to fight a final boss in DD2? Good luck. You'll need it. He didn't know how his kind generosity and Heisuke's bright personality kept me going day after day. They were the highlights of my restrictive life. I was sure I would be incredibly lonely with both of them gone. It must have shown on my face because he suddenly looked troubled.
そう、せっかく江戸に行くわけだし、何か土産でも買ってこようじゃねえか。君もふるさとが懐かしかろう。
Oh no, I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me.
では、他に俺にできることがあれば言ってくれ。できるだけ期待にそう。
He was always so accommodating to me already. I didn't have any complaints. But there was something I desired for a while, but never had the nerve to ask before. Before you leave for Edo, could you train me?
ひょっとして剣の稽古という意味？
Yes. Yeah, step up. Step up, Yukimura. Jesus.
なんだ
No.
ろう。俺の指導は荒くるかな。怪我でもさせたら高度さんに申し訳が立たない。
Oh.
しかし、随分。
No, you gotta fight for your right to fight. His eyebrows furrowed in concern. I wanted to watch over everyone while he was gone. Yeah, but let me save. I don't remember this. And I don't know if this is, like, pivotal. But, whatever. I think we should choose this one. If I'm going to help watch over the compound while you're gone, I want to be capable.
いや、しかし、君は大使ではないし、刀を振るう機会もまずないと。
You're right. But still, I want to be strong enough to be able to protect myself. At least the bare minimum if something were to happen. Having witnessed many battles with the Shinsengumi, it was pretty clear how far behind in skill I was. The realization cut deep. Still, I might end up on the battlefield someday. Should that time come, I wanted to lessen the burden for my protectors as much as I could. I tried my best to explain how I felt to Kondo, and eventually he gave a firm nod.
はい、わかった。そこまでの熱意を持っているなら、俺も喜んで稽古に付き合おう。
Kondo's so nice. He is like the cinnamon roll of this, the whole Shinsengumi in this game. We found a cord to tie up my sleeves and set about training me. Normal Shinsengumi training revolved around real-life sparring with wooden swords. Kondo decided to go easy on me with a bamboo one.
では、早速始めるとしよう。先に言っておくが、天然理侵入は少々荒っぽいぞ。
Right. I'm ready.
ならば、まず構えから見ようか。雪村君は剣術を習っていたんだな。
Yes. It was mostly for self-defense, but I did receive instruction in fighting with the Kodachi.
ならば、身についた型を崩すことはない。その流派の型で構えて
Understood. Oh shit! Bamboo sword in hand, I moved into the familiar stance that I'd memorized during my training.
握りが多い。
His harsh words stung like a whip.
いいか。正面
This
か
is
ら
cool.
真っ先に間合いに入るのは刀である。刀を持つ手では。
Will this mean Yukimura actually becomes somewhat useful in this route? I hope so. Imagine if during the credits for the Minecraft movie they play Revenge. Jesus, imagine. I'd hope so.
握りが甘ければ、その時点で容易に刀を落とされてしまう。俺は気をつければならない。
Yes, sir. He hit me with the full brunt of his stringent teaching. Oh, okay. I could see. He was taking this. I could see he was taking this. Seriously? And so I endeavored to take everything he said and carved his teachings into my heart. The biggest slap in the face would be if we thought they were going to play Revenge, but it ends up being DJ's Got Us Falling in Love. No, but that's still... I'd still take that as a win, because in the first place, Revenge is supposed to be a parody of that song. So, even if they might not be able to play Revenge, it's still something. It's not... Sure, it's not what we want, what we would have wanted, but... It's better than, like, when Usher, like, totally didn't play Daddy's Home or any... You know, none of that in the Super Bowl, despite being all like, "Hi, look, I'm Gojo." So we back in the mines, got our pickaxe swinging from side to side, side to side.
となると自然斬撃を受け流す形になる。この場合だと逆に固く握りすぎていては
With Kondo's instruction, I practiced swinging the sword over and over, doing my best to learn and retain everything he was teaching me. Several hours went by.
こんな時間か。
Oh shit! His words brought my head up and I blinked. The sun set without me realizing. Suddenly, in the real world again, fatigue slammed into me and I collapsed to my knees. Thank you for doing this for me. My every limb was shaking and I was drenched in sweat. I sucked in air like I couldn't get enough of it. Kondo glanced over at me when I fell to the ground, and his strict teaching expression immediately switched to one of deep concern.
すまなかった雪村君。俺としたことがついつい熱が入ってかなり無茶な練習を。
I'm fine. The fact that you forgot and ended up teaching me that way, even though I'm not your student. Thank you. It made me really happy.
そうか。そう言ってもらえると少しは救われる気がするよ。
His face was a mixture of relief and guilt.
しかし本当にすまなかった。こんな風に稽古をつけるのは久しぶりで、昔を思い出してつい厳しくしてしまったよ。
You mean before you came to Kyoto?
その通り。これと年、当時源さんは司令官という道場で天然理心流を学んでね。
The good old days.
それ以外に三男、東堂、原田君、原田君が心がけ込んでいたよ。そういえば斉藤君も顔を出していたな。今は機会も減ったが、あの頃はよく互いに手合わせにしたものだ。
First phase went perfectly? Good. Indeed, talk of the old days came up one night, when everyone was well into their sake. Kondo's family were farmers, but it was discovered that he had remarkable skill at sword fighting. The owner of Shie Hall decided to adopt him so he could continue training, and that's where he met Hijikata, along with everyone else. It must have been rough, doing all that training.
確かに厳しかったが、今とはまた違う意味で充実していたよ。
He gazed off into the distance, clearly reminiscing, and I felt a tiny pang of envy. If I had been born and raised near Mibu, would I have met all of them under different, better circumstances? Kondo turned to look down at me kindly, a gentle smile on his face.
先ほど雪村君が穏平ではない私になった。
Oh?
今、天然理心流4代目である俺が直々に指導したということは、ある意味では君も天然理心の門下だ。いわば、都市や掃除、源さんとも同門ということにな。
Wow. Born and raised near Miku. No, Mibu. Get your ears checked. Thank you. It was obviously not official, and it was barely a day's worth of instruction, but I was happy. My heart felt so light I couldn't stop smiling. I bowed once more. Kondo, I'm so grateful. Thank you for today. Even after returning to my room, the warmth in my heart didn't fade. I'd been living here for a while now, but still, I often felt like an outsider. I was only allowed to be here because we were searching for my father. I was never really one of them, nor did I belong. But now, Kondo's words filled in some of the holes in my heart. I was truly grateful to him. Smiling, I collapsed onto my futon. The strain and fatigue from earlier was a good feeling, and I let it drag me under to sleep. February 1865, it's chapter 3. Oh no, it's these guys. Well shit, we like really had a time skip there. Oh. A few months. The dawn of the new year came and went. It was February of 1865, and we had just finished breakfast. That's the month and year you were born? Damn, you old! You old and moldy. I opened the door to the common room, carrying a heavy tray full of tea. Everyone, the tea is ready.
おお、すまないね、雪村君。
I made my way around the room, carefully pouring a cup of tea for each person there. Inoue smiled warmly as he sipped on the tea.
やっぱり寒い日には熱めのお茶がうまいね。
So true. Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words. It may not be very much, but I felt as if I was helping out in some way. You know what? Hold on, I'm turning my fan off. Maybe it's not that bad. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present.
ヤギさんたちにお世話になったが、この年もそろそろ手狭になってきたか。
まあ確かに狭くなったな。大使の数も増えてきたしよ。
広いところに移れるんならそれがいいんだけどな。雑魚寝してる連中かなり辛そうだしよ。
だな。前川邸で寝起きしてる連中なんて毎晩押し寿司みてえになりながら寝てやがるぜ。あれじゃ疲れが取れねえだろうし、なんとかしてやりてえよな。
そんなこと言ったって僕たち新選組を受け入れてくれる場所なんてないでしょ。
Dude, it feels like we haven't seen Okita in like ages.
僕たち今日の嫌われ者だしね。
Okita joked in response. The person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map spread upon the table.
西本願寺
Oh
と
no.
いうのはどうかしら。
Oh no, it's him.
西本願寺ですか。先方の同意を得られるとは思えませんが。
でも数百人の大使が寝起きできるほど広い場所なんて他にないでしょう。それにあの場所ならいざという時も動きやすいと思うので。
Oh no. Right? This man was named Kashitaro Ito. He was recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. This is where Heisuke fucked up. He gained notoriety teaching the Hokushin Ito style in his dojo, and he was known for being highly educated.
それに西本願寺は以前長州浪士をかくまっていたこともあると聞きますが、我々が西本願寺に移れば浪士たちは身を隠す場所を一つ失うことになります。
そこまで考えての選定というわけですか。なるほど。
You beat the boss? Can't believe how well it went? Congratulations! Wow. Well, I'm glad that you beat it. Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion. Oh, hold on. I had to sneeze. I'm good now. However, a voice of protest arose. Okay, it got hot again. I need to turn the fan on. Ito's brow twitched, as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sannan directly.
自社を隠れみのにして好き勝手な振る舞いをしていたのは長州浪士の方ではなくて、今日の治安を乱す不定浪士に配慮して差し上げるので、三男さんお優しい。
Ito's dismissiveness seemed to leave a bitter taste in Sannan's mouth.
尊重歌舞伎派を抑える必要があるという点に関しては同意しますわじゃあなんだ
Who the fuck is that?
切り合う時はやあやあ我こそは
やあやあ
名乗りを上げて正々堂々とやるべきだというつもりだ
I do not remember this guy.
不定老師どもがそんな鎌倉武士みたいなご作法に付き合ってくれりゃいいな三郎口を慎みなさいと悪いつい本命だ
Okay. The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. He was apparently Ito's younger brother. What? Or they don't have the same last name, is it? Some weird family stuff. You'd like to leave a bitter taste in Sannan's mouth? Whoa! Whoa, okay, alright, calm down.
皆さんごめんなさいねこの子昔から口を三男さんもお気を悪くなさらないでくださいなあなたのような方も新選組を大きくしていく上では必要な
おもん。
たとえ左腕が使い物にならなくともその才覚と学識は隊のために大いに役立つはずです
This dude. Excuse me, I watched as Sannan chewed on his lip. The tension was cut by another voice.
伊藤さん今のどういう意味
Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a whetstone. Ito seemed taken aback and his eyes grew wide.
あんたが言うように三男さんは優秀な論家だけどな剣客としてもこの新選組に必要な人間なんだよ
Without question, those were Hijikata's true feeling on the matter. True feeling. Yes, those were true feeling. However,
ですが私の腕は
Sannan only seemed to grow more dispirited. Hichikata must have realized the impact of what he just said, as his face warped into a bitter frown.
ごめんなさいませ私としたことが失言でした
Hichikata is angry this route. Like, he more angry than usual.
三男さんは皆さん方の大切なお仲間ですもんね仲がよろしくて結構なことですわ新たに入隊した大使たちも同じ気持ちでいてくれるといいのですけど
Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito. Yeah, that fucking dude. The audacity. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
とりあえず豚書移転の件に関してはもう少し話し合ってから決めるか伊藤さんこの後お付き合いを願いますか先ほどの件についてもう少し詳しい話をお聞きしたいので
ええ喜んで
As the two stood to exit the room, Takeda was quick to follow right behind them.
近藤局長私もご一緒して構いません
いいともぜひ君も伊藤さんの話を聞いて大いに見識を広めてくれたまえ
Okay, Hijikata, tell us how you really feel, right? Unleash your true feelings.
新選組幹部といえど剣術ばかりではいかんからなこれからは広い視野と深い知識を身につければな
は
Kondo left the common room with Ito and Takeda. Miki, however, still sat before us. He smirked coldly towards us and slinked off away from the common room. Okita spoke up once Miki's footsteps were no longer audible.
誰なのさあんな人たちを連れてきたのは
Fucking Heisuke.
犯人はまだ江戸にいるだろう。平助、帰ってきたの聞いてよ。
伊藤さんは尊攘派なんだ
ち
長州のやつらと同じ考えのやつがよく新選組に入る気になったもんだ。
尊皇攘夷だからって長州と同一視されるのはしないらしい。ちょっと
Oh, whoops, my bad.
わけのわからないことを抜
I'll
かして
play
るんだ
that.
よ。
I'll play that line again because I don't like skipping lines.
尊皇攘夷だからって長州と同一視されるのはしないらしい。そもそも尊皇とは
Yeah, that's okay. It would just bother me.
あっさり丸め込まれるんだって。
近藤さんって
Rubbed off on,
お
huh?
人よしですからね。ああいう口がうまくてお腹の中が真っ黒な人に騙されやすいんだよな。
その伊藤さんが参謀で弟の9番組組長。めんどくさいことになったぜ。
Eventually, Hijikata approached Sanan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame. Oh, poor Sanan.
旦那さん、あんな奴の言うことなんざ気にするんじゃねえぞ。
Sanan just laughed dryly and shook his head.
伊藤さんは学識も高く弁舌に優れ剣の腕も確かな方ですよ。
But you shouldn't take shit from him.
優秀な参謀の入隊でついに総長はお役御免というわけです。
おい、三男さん。
Sanan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall.
三男さんの気の毒だな。あの調子だから近頃大使連中にも避けられちゃった。
What? But why?
無理もねえだろ。どんな言葉をかけても全部悪く取られちまうし。何を言っても皮肉と嫌にしか返ってこねえから大使たちに怯えちまって近づかねえんだよ。
Oh no. I might not have known any of them that well. I knew that Sanan had been quite well liked by the other warriors before his injury.
土方さん、伊藤さんたちなんて適当な理由をつけてさっさと追い出しちゃってくださいよ。あの人たちが来てから僕、毎晩嫌な夢ばっかり見るんですよね。
そんなことできるわけねえだろうが。伊藤さんはすっかり伊藤さんに心酔してるみたいだし、伊藤さんと一緒に入隊してきた連中もそんな扱いをされたら黙っちゃいない。
役に立たない人だな。無理を通すのが鬼副長の役目でしょ。
んじゃてめえが副長やりゃいいだろうが。で、あいつらを追い出せる。
Unless something funky happens, you'll finally have a tutoring session tomorrow. Oh well, I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping nothing bad happens and that things go smoothly. Knock on wood. Yeah, good luck. I do hope that you get that tutoring session. You'll do great.
嫌に決まってるじゃないですか。そんなめんどくさいの。
The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and no one spoke in his defense. During all of this, only one person sipped his tea quietly. Saito? Yeah, of course. He hasn't said a word. Saito quietly looked up as I spoke to him. What do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is.
さまざまな考えを持つ者が属しています。大抵広がりを見せる。
Ah, so then...
だが無理に広げようとすると内部が打開を始めること。
His words were a dark omen. We were short on hands, so Ito's presence was welcome, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster. The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body seized up due to the cold. Thank you all. Spring seemed far away. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sanan and his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. His injured left arm was the source of the pain eating away at his heart. Still, it would be wonderful for Sun-Nan's arm to simply start working again. Unfortunately, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
そうじゃ。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Oh, spaced out, my bad. Okita had mentioned that the Shinsengumi had some secret serum. Judging from how they spoke of it, it was an item with particular circumstances. But I wasn't supposed to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But I was the daughter of a doctor. I deserved to know. I could help. The secret sauce. I was fairly sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. I would... This is where we're saving. Now, I should probably stay in, because... Yeah, return to your room, because if I do investigate, I feel like that would get me something that I don't want. So, return. If not, I don't know. Perhaps it would be best to just return to my room. I didn't want to get in trouble for wandering around. Most of all, I didn't want to find myself in anyone's way. It feels like it's taking longer than usual for Yukimura to learn what the serum does and for Sanan to take it. Yeah. To be fair, though, I think the Sanan thing is going to happen in this chapter, but, like, you know, soon. But, yeah, it does feel like a bit. Maybe that's just from watching the adaptations, though. Because they do go faster, that's true. Yeah, because it's one thing when you're watching an anime adaptation, then when you're playing through the game, especially a visual novel, you have to go through all these lines, so... Even though I was worried about Sanan, maybe it was for the best for me to stay put. The sun dipped below the horizon. All of a sudden, the compound exploded with activity. My worry increased tenfold. Had something happened? I waited for a few moments for the activity to settle down, but it showed no signs of stopping. Oh, that's right, I remembered these fucking footsteps. It sounds like some, I don't know, like some big centipede just kind of crawling around the room. Something was wrong. I could feel it. I struggled against it for as long as I could, but eventually, my curiosity got the better of me. There must be someone in the common room. I decided to go ask what had happened.
まさか三男君が自ら薬に手を出したしったくどいつもこいつも何してやがるんだ
The Shinsengumi Pete, exactly.
三男さんから目を離すなってあれだけ言ったじゃねえか
そんなこと言われてもよ。
Ruh-roh.
とは思わねえだろ普通。あれを管理してたのはサンナさんだったから、薬を持っててもおかしくはねえし。
Yeah, there we go.
小瓶一つぐらいなら懐に隠し持ってても気づかなかったかもしれない。確かにあの薬を使えば腕は治るかもしれねえな。あれは失敗作だろ。飲んだ連中もみんな結局は血に狂っちまった。
Whoop. I wondered what they meant by serum. Occasionally I'd heard the captains referring to something similar. But did Sannan drink that?
三男総長独自に薬の改良を続けていたと聞きます理性を保ったまま腕の傷を負いますその成功にかけたのでしょう
失敗を悟った三男僧侶掃除の静止を聞かず自陣をした。
Suicide? The words were past my lips before I'd realized. As one, all eyes in the room turned towards me. Whoops!
どうしてお前がここに。
His cold gaze pinned me in place. My throat tightened until I could barely breathe, let alone speak. I felt the same hostility as on the night I had first arrived to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. He was thinking about whether he should kill me or not.
トシ、そろそろ彼女にも聞いてもらった方がいいんじゃない？
Yay, exposition! Woo!
彼女は高度さんの娘、知る権利がある。
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, excuse me. My eyes went wide at the mention of my father's name. Why would my father's name come up here? Did he have something to do with this? Hichikata's gaze slid to Kondo, his mouth twisted in an unpleasant grimace. After a moment, he sighed with exasperation.
先に言っておく。お前は新選組に必要ねえんだ。
I think it's funny how many times Yukimoto worries about the Shinsengumi killing her. I know, right? Yeah, because all of those bonding moments didn't mean shit, and the promises, nah, they were gonna kill me. If only she knew she were the main character. If only.
高堂さんを探す役に立たすかもしれない。お前がいなくてもどうってことだ。もしもし。そいつをてめえの肝にしっかり命じてから話を聞く。
The intensity of Hijikata's statement felt like a sharp dagger pointed at my throat. I was Kodo's daughter. The Shinsengumi only let me stay with them on the off chance it'd be useful during the search for my father. Although it wasn't their primary duty, the Shinsengumi had the watch for all manhunts. There was no real need for me to be here. Are you going to kill me? Anxiety gnawed at my stomach. Hijikata's eyes narrowed with irritation at my sudden question.
まだ殺さねえよ。いつ死のうと困る。
Yeah, see? Keyword yet. Oh. I wasn't going to be killed. At least this time. I suppose I should be happy for that. I'd been with the Shinsengumi for nearly a year, and my position with them hadn't changed. Kill her! Kill her now! Yeah. That was the truth of the matter, and the truth cut deep.
今までは君にも伏せていた。高堂さんはもともとここで薬の研究をしていた。
You mean... I gulped audibly, and I carefully formulated what I was going to say in my head before I said it aloud. Well, I guess I should gulp audibly too. The one that Sanan took? Kondo nodded gravely.
あの薬はもともと幕府の高官がここに持ち込んだもの。何でも西洋との交易で手に入れたものだと気がする。
Curiosity swelled inside of me. My head felt light from the anticipation. Still, I knew that digging deep was dangerous.
人間の筋肉と自然治癒能力を爆発的に高める西洋のドライの薬。
Ooh.
あれを飲んだ野生の獣と渡り合うことは不可能だった。致命傷でなく傷は立ちどころに塞ぎ、つまり首を落とされるか心臓を撃たれるのなり戦い続けることができる。
In combat. Did such a serum really exist? It felt like I was hearing some sort of fairy tale.
ただし、あの薬に甚大な副作用がある。
A cost?
あれを飲んだ人間は狂気に駆られ、人の血なしでは生きることさえできなくなる。新選組の大使は実験で薬の改良を進めていた。高度さん。
father? Somewhere deep in my heart, I'd known my father had some connection with all of this. However, knowing my father was involved with driving men mad, all I could do was wonder why. To perform experiments on the Shinsengumi? To drive them mad? Just why? I couldn't understand why my father would do such a thing. Suddenly, I realized something. So, excuse me, that night in the alley, Saito nodded.
薬を飲んだ大使たちは南部程度ヤギ程度と人目につく血に触れん影正気を失うこと我々にとってよしやすい者たち
When your father drives men mad? Oh, right? Saito spoke so quietly and indifferently. It felt like I was talking to a stranger. Living with them for so long made me forget. There was still a line between myself and the Shinsengumi men that couldn't be crossed, and his coldness reminded me of it.
大丈夫か顔色悪いぜ
I'm alright.
無理すんなこんな話を聞かされりゃ気分悪くなるよな
おしゃべりはその辺にしとけ。今は三男さんのことが先だろうが。
つってもどうするんだ。三男さん死にかけてるじゃねえか。
ここに持ち込まれたばかりの頃とは違う。来ると決まったわけじゃねえ。薬が効いてるんならどんな怪我でも治るはずだから。
You're gonna say, imagine if this game were gender swap, but then it'd just be a fucking harem game. Exactly. Yeah. You know what? I think in the Fate series, like, I've seen there's, like, an Okita, which, like, if you guys remember, my birthday decorations at work, because I told Bodhi the list of my husbandos, and I said Soji Okita, but I guess when he Google image searched, it came up with the one from the Fate series, and that one's a girl. So I don't know if, like, all of the Shinsengumi are in Fate or what. 'Cause I guess, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird seeing that there's, like, these historical figures, but they're gender bent. Excuse me. But they still keep their names. Like, what's one? Like, I don't know, let's say, like, fucking, I think Arthur Pendragon is one. Like, it's like, you know, guys in history or, like, maybe, like, mythological guys. It's like, yeah, like, they're just girls, but with the same names. I don't know, it just feels weird. But, yeah, I guess it would be like that, exactly. It felt like Hichikata was holding back, as if he was trying to keep his hopes low.
あんたは三男さんの様子を見てきてる。生きるか死ぬか。来るかせるか。
言ってもよ。確か彼の部屋には掃除もいるのだったな。
Oh, Kondo nodded deeply, then stood and headed for Sannan's room.
三男さんの部屋は誰も近づけない。
No one claimed Puck from Waifugami. Eh.
新橋、前川邸の様子を見てきてくれるか。
分かった。
As he passed, Nagakota's eyes met mine for an instant. At his gaze, I felt the same hostility as when I'd first arrived. Ooh. They were filled with doubt and suspicion.
斉藤は中庭で待機し、伊藤一派の警戒と牽制を。
Eventually, Hichikata turned his gaze onto me.
雪村。今夜は看護をする。
I call Haruda. Yes. It seemed as though his suggestion wasn't out of worry for my well-being. It just wasn't a wise idea for me to be wandering around.
裏の南部邸には絶対に行くんじゃねえぞ。連中、夜気が立ってるもんな。
Alright. Even with their warnings, I knew that my options for where to go were limited. So, wait, so, I want to go with Harada though. You went ahead and got Winry from FMA? Cool. Ooh, I don't know. He just said don't go to Nanbu, whatever. Well, where's he gonna go? Maybe I should remain in the common room. Let's see. Let's... That's what my gut's telling me. No. I don't know. I didn't really get any hints. Hold on. Wait, or just judging from... Okay, so... Where can you find the weird Spotify generated playlist? So if you go on home, there should be something like one of your daily mixes. Let me double check that. Yeah, cause oh, right now it's traditional funk Motown late night. And but earlier I put it in the Discord server, but it's so oddly specific. It's like what I got was Requiem anime Monday evening. And cause like it'll update every like what is it, maybe 3 hours or something like that. And I didn't want that playlist to go away, so thankfully it let me save it as a different playlist so that it doesn't regenerate. But yeah, like it's always going to change. But yeah, if you I think I don't know how you find it actually. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you look on your home page, then it should probably show up. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how I first got to it. Well, you'll find it eventually. Let's see. So Saito's in the courtyard, so don't go there. Nagakura is going in the Mayakawa house, and I don't know where that is. You can't find it. Yeah, I don't... Sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. Because it's based on... Like, they make these mixes based on, like, what kind of music you listen to at certain points of the day, and also specifically what day. So, I don't know. It's something called a day list. Maybe if you search up day list, you might find it. But that's all I can tell you. Okay, so I'm just not... Don't go to the inner courtyard. Kind of based on, like... Based on the order of, like, people who were mentioned, maybe I should go outside and Haruda would be there. Let's see. I took a deep breath and my lungs filled with crisp, cold air. You found it once I mentioned Dayless. There you go. What did you get? It brought me a sense of calm, cooling me down. I stood in disbelief of everything that happened tonight. Oh, perfect. You have Symphony Electric Monday. Yeah, I don't know how they come up with these names. Interesting. You think so? Oh, it's not like that. It was hard for me to be upfront with him, so I attempted to look stoic as best as I could.
別に強がる必要なんてねえよ。怖いものを怖いっていうのは悪いことでもなんもねえ。他のやつの前じゃ今ねえ方がいいんだよ。
After saying his piece, Harada lightly patted my head. Oh, I like he gives me head pats. Harada, the care he showed me warmed my heart a little bit. Despite the circumstances, I appreciated Harada treating me as if everything was going to be alright. What's going to happen to Sanan?
かなり追い詰められてたからな、あの人。
I know. I had nothing to add, so I nodded. I wasn't sure how much my opinion would matter, considering that I was an outsider to them.
あの人には江戸にいた頃から世話になったし、できれば生き残ってほしいな。死ぬのなんていつでもできるんだよ
He sighed deeply and looked up at the sky.
な。だが目を覚ました時、三男さんが元のままのあの人でいてくれるかはわからねえ。
As Harada spoke, I began to wonder. What did Harada think of the serum? Had he accepted it as a necessary risk for the Shinsengumi? Did he tell himself that it was for the good of his men, and that it couldn't be helped? This isn't what Sannan for. I mean, this isn't what Sannan signed up for. Yeah, me having a stroke. Harada? I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to know what he was thinking, but I shut my mouth. Nothing. Never mind.
なんだ、別に遠慮なんざする必要はねえんだぜ。
No, don't worry about it. It's really nothing.
そうか。
Oh, come on. Be honest. Open up to him.
三男さん、早く目を覚ましてくれるかな。できれば元のあの人のままで。こりゃ隅で望むってのか。
Oh. Let me save here. Let's see. I feel like the top answer would be right. I shouldn't just, like, agree with them. We all wish for the same thing. I silently shook my head. I don't think that's asking for too much. We all wish for the same thing. Or we all wish for the same thing. It was something I truly meant. Harada stood silently for some time, watching me. There we go. Yeah, stay true to yourself.
お前、いいやつだな。
Our conversation came to a halt. The thought of my father conducting experiments with that serum, knowing that with it, he was performing cruel acts on men. It gave me so many things to worry about, but right now, all I could wish was for Sannan to pull through. Please, let him be alright. I wish this from the bottom of my heart. Then, an unexpected visitor arrived. What?
お前たち、こんな夜更けにここで何をしている？
It's you. Oh shit. That you.
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。あんたこそこんな時間にどこに出かけてたんだ。門限破りは切腹だぜ。
私は
Yeah, he said
身
seppuku
分で
there.
現実の稽古をしてきただけだ。
You know,
局長の許しも得ている。
I heard that this release was supposed to fix some, like, you know, some translations from, like, the Steam versions. Because, like, there's some translations that could have worked out better. Or, like, you know, maybe they were phrased awkwardly in the Steam versions. But, like, I don't know. Like, you hear seppuku there in the line, and then they don't really say it. It's just, like, punishment. Like, come on, man. We all know what seppuku is. You found a Reddit post titled, "Help me hide my nipples." Oh god. The first sentence is, I'm a man with pretty standard British nipples, yet I cannot find a plain white t-shirt that hides them. Holy shit. Honestly though, just like a lot of times white t-shirts, especially like, you know, if you're not wearing a black t-shirt that's like not especially tight, the men nipples are always poking out. GG easy. Yeah.
なるほど。さっさと中に戻ってくれねえか。今ちょっとした騒ぎになっててよ。
さあ一体何があったの？
俺も詳しくは聞かされてないんだ。大方体内に尊攘派の患者が入り込んだとかじゃねえかな。さっさと部屋に戻った方がいいぜ。あんたもともと近藤さんたちからいい印象を持たれてねえだろ。
He was adamant that he still wanted to be able to wear white shirts. Someone recommended pasties. Yeah, but yeah, you wear a white tank top or a wife beater under the shirt. Because nipples do be poking. Like, there's guys at work, I'm not gonna say who, but it's like, you know, they don't wear the undershirt and it's like, you can clearly see the nipples and I'm just like, man, why? Takeda darted an icy gaze towards Haruda, and he scurried beyond the gates. Was that all right to say? No, I don't want to see their nipples. Listen, there's certain people I don't want to see, like, their nipples. Now, if it's Kyler, that's a different story, but, you know, I don't want to see that shit. And so the long night came to an end. The captains of the Shinsengumi gathered in the common room. Don't worry. Yeah, I got to see your nipples and toasties, yeah. No, but what I'm talking about is like, you know, you're wearing a shirt and then you can clearly see the nipples like poking out. Like that's what I mean. For you guys, no. I've never, yeah, like, I don't know. Both of you, I'll say, like, are, you know, you're fine. Like, that hasn't been a problem. But, like, there are certain people where it's just like, guys specifically, it's like, are you nipplist? It's 2024, we're supposed to respect all nipples. No. Yeah, you know what? Whatever, you can call me nippleless. I don't want to see it. The room collectively breathed a sigh of relief. Peaceful or dead? There's two differences here. The nippleless nipples. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, go ahead. Twitter can cancel me all they want. Throw the liars at me, I don't care. Inoue simply shook his head. Suddenly, the door slid open. Ito walked in. Brazil canceled Twitter. Yeah, apparently. Oh, you funny. Ito dismissed Nagakura's snide remark and turned to face the standing warriors. Do Do I want to read the full British nipple post on stream? Just thought you'd ask. Well, how long is it? Twitter should have been cancelled. Haven't used that shit in years. It's kind of pointless for us common folk. Yeah, right? Like, I only really go on there to check for any updates for anything I like and, like, art. Maybe funny memes. But that's it. Like, yeah, I don't know. Twitter is just, like... Sometimes I debate on whether I should, like, actually keep the app on my phone or not. Like, I barely use it. Kondo's eyes desperately darted around the room, as if looking for someone to offer an excuse.
よし、ごまかせそう。
あ、俺が実は昨日
大根役者は出しゃばらないでくれるかな。
It's about 14 sentences. Yeah, I'll pass. I'm good.
そういうのだったらもっと得意な人がいるじゃない。
Damn. Okita turned to Saito expectantly, and the latter spoke up at once.
伊藤参謀がお察しの通り、昨晩豚舎内で事件が発生しました。
事件ですね。
はい。ですが我々もまだ全容を把握できてはいない状況です。
You still use Twitter to retweet fan art and rant on your private Ramble account? Yeah. Hey, it's a valid way to vent emotions and stuff. Hakuoki smashed your past YouTube video when... Great idea! Yeah, well, you guys know who I'm smashing.
今の時点での説明は余計な誤解を招くばかりだと。ですので今夜に場を設け、詳しくお伝えさせていただきたく存じます。
そういうことです。事情は分かりましたよ。
Don't know where you get your BRS content to feed you? Well, you could go to Pixiv. You could go to one of the Borus.
今夜のお呼ばれ、心待ちにしていますが。
There's a lot of places you could look. You just have to dig. Ito easily accepted the explanation and promptly excused himself.
なんとか見逃してもらえたみたいだね。
What do you mean?
伊藤さんはなんだかんだで頭が回る人だ。
Yeah, just Pixiv's definitely, especially for like anime, like and like Black Rock Shooter, like I wouldn't say it's like niche, but you know, it's still like it's not like one of those overly popular like series, so it's like, you know, I feel like if you go on Pixiv, you'll find like a bigger community there. Or not bigger per se, but like, you know, there's some good content there.
幹部が勢ぞろいしてる場に三男さんだけいないんだ。あの人絡みで何かあったってその感じだ。
Yeah, whoops. Check you out on your MySpace page, myspace.com. Quandale Dingle. Oh shit, it's the real Quandale Dingle. No way. I'm honored to have Quandale Dingle watching my stream. Reading through the comments, it sounds like he's getting nipple coverings. Well, good for him. Oh. Ito had likely guessed at what took place, but decided not to press the issue. I looked up at the sudden sound of the door sliding open. It was Sanan. Oh, he's alright! Sanan!
そんな化け物を見るような目で見られても困ります。
三男さん、起きてていいのかい？
少し気だるいですね。これも薬の副作用でしょう。あの薬を飲んでしまうと昼間動くことが困難になりますから。
Sanan looked a little pale, but it didn't look too difficult for him to stand and speak. But if it was hard for him to move during the day,
私はもう人ではありません。
those words sunk heavily into our hearts. Even the captains fell silent at his solemn admission. Despite that,
いや、サナ君、君が生きていてくれてよかった。我々はそれだけで十分だと。
Kondo stood and grabbed Sanan's shoulders tightly. Tears welled in his beaming eyes.
それで腕の方はどうなんです？治ったんですか？
Ooh.
まだ本調子ではありませんからね。自分でもよくわからないのです。
He lifted his left arm, the arm that before had hung limp at his side. He flexed it, opened, and closed it. Hey, he's got it to work. It didn't look any different than before his injury.
治っているようですね。少なくとも不便がない程度の。
Thank goodness. In spite of the chaos from last night, his wish to use his arm once more came true. Yay. However,
あの薬を飲んだってことは今動けねえようになっちまった。
yeah, or else he'll sparkle.
タイムに参加なんてできるのか？
To this, Sanan was quick to respond.
解決策はあります。私が死んだことにすればいい。
Well, shit.
これから私は薬の成功例として羅刹を束ねていこうと思っています。
サナさん、それ本気で言ってるのか？
Well, yes.
あんた自分が何を言ってるのか分かってるのかよ？
分かっています。なんか君こそ忘れたのです。 薬の存在を伏せるよう幕府から命じられているのですよ。私が死んだことにすれば今までのように薬の存在を隠し通すことができる。それにもし薬の持つ副作用を消すことができるのだとすればそれを使わない手はないでしょう。
No one spoke up. I was sure that deep in their hearts everyone wanted to stop him, but
薬の実験は幕府からの脱脂でもあるし。そうするしかないか。
まあ三男さんが自分で選んだ道ですし、止めたって聞く人じゃないですよね。
よくわかっています。その通りですよ。
oh, Hijikata finally spoke in a half murmur, something close to bitterness in his eyes.
短所移転の話、冗談じゃ済まされなかった。3年生の移動の中を隠す広い短所が必要だ。じゃあ先生。
同意します。
This game would be funnier if they actually looked like their IRL counterparts. Right? Yeah, they'd have the top knot with the balding head.
薬の研究を続けるので、なおのこと移転を急ぐべきかと。
よし、ろくに寝てねえとこ悪いが、話し合いを始めさせてもらうぞ。
Yeah, me too. Oh, hold on. I got you. Where is it?
ユキ、お前は部屋に戻って。
How'd you know? Understood. Please excuse me. I bowed to everyone and left the common room. I was honestly happy that Sanan was safe. However, a whole flurry of new concerns had arisen. Learning of my father's horrible work. What would become of me? Would I be safe? Such thoughts buzzed in my head as I walked back to my room. Okay. I'll stop there because yeah, I can't. I keep falling asleep. But yeah, May 1865. It's just because I'm tired. But hey, we got some pretty good progress going ahead, and we finally got Haruda's route budding. Sanan be all like, I will cause problems on purpose, right? Whoops. Yeah, I'll just double check. It's gonna be made. Yeah, exactly, the next time we get there. Budding. Alright, perfect. I'll save right here. Yeah, right there. Okay, I'm back to over the title. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that I got to stream again. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. As always, love chatting with you guys and hanging out. If you're just watching, I'm always glad to be entertainment. It is now Shin Megami Tuesday. And y'all already know it's time for Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. That will be later tonight. But yeah. Matanene, my dudes, thank you once again for coming by. Hope you have a lovely rest of your night or day, wherever you may be. And I'll catch you guys later. Yeah, pizza oot. Take care, stay safe out there. Y'all have a good one. Adios.